And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Biden's disastrous ABC News interview. This was going to be the thing that saved his campaign. This was going to be the thing that convinced us that he was strong and virile, all this, that, and the third. If that's the case, they're in trouble because I can't tell. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, you have ridiculous property tax hikes out there in Chicago or in the Chicago area, Illinois, South Chicago suburbs. One man had, what was that, a 3,800% increase in his personal property tax bill. They were trying to assess his home that's worth no more than $200,000 at over $1 million. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the NBA gambling problem. You have the guy, what's his name, Jontay Porter, about to get locked up, about to go to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little rocks because he was involved with a gambling scheme. We're going to get into the details of that in a little bit. Also, a lot of Biden surrogates are really upset at people trying to say that he should drop out before the DNC. They're really, really mad, and they're letting the whole world know. We're going to talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. I really, really appreciate y'all. If you enjoyed the content in general, if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Lori, the sound should be good. Hopefully everybody can hear me nice and loud and clear. Hopefully everything's good. But we got a whole lot going on. Shout out to you guys for being here. Man, oh man, there is so much happening, but I appreciate y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate y'all. And of course, y'all know I'm here every Wednesday and Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time to 11 p.m. Eastern time. This is also a podcast you're listening to. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, 8 a.m. the day after it's done, Eastern time. That's going to be on Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live, and that should pop right on up. I have a secondary channel as well, Uncle ABL. I've not posted much on there in about a week and some change, but I got a lot of content lined up for Uncle ABL. So y'all please subscribe to that. And I promise I'll be very consistent on that channel, just as secondary outlet to speak about different things that I want to talk about right here on this channel. Okay, we got a whole lot going on, but y'all know how I do. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. That link will be in the description. Also, you could just go to the website through your browser, patriotpost.us, tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got these hats, the We the People, what I got in 1984. We got a few here. You know, we got all these. We got a little bit of everything on the store, and I got more new merch coming, ablmerch.com. And I promise I got new merch coming. I promise. And if I don't have it coming, y'all got to just, if you see me in the street, give me the tar and feather, and after like 2 months of not having a new merch, tar and feather me. That's the open invitation. If I don't have the new merch on the site within 2 months, give me the tar and feather. Not really, but I'm just saying, hold me accountable. Anyway, also go to my other website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and on the front page, there's articles for each video that I produce. And in the article, you got a summary. You got sources from the left, from the right, from the politically agnostic, from local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it. As long as it's legal, I'm going to post it. That includes full videos, uncensored stories, whatever you want. I got it on there. They can't tell me to censor my own website. They can't do nothing about that. As long as I'm posting nothing illegal, they don't have any power to regulate me over there. Anyway, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact us. And on the contact page, you'll be able to find my email address, my snail mail address, my UPS box, my social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those are right there on the website. And as I always say, if you're wondering if you are being contacted by me or not, you're kind of is this really ABL? Did he really tell me if I sent him 100 Apple iTunes gift cards with $5 each that I'd be a millionaire in a week? If you're wondering about that, first of all, let's just think for a second. But if the thinking fails or you want a little bit more reassurance, just go to my contact page and see my contact information. If the email you're conversing with claims to be me and it says, I am a Nigerian scammer and I live in the hovel with 45 other guys at outlook.com, or if it says, I live in Eastern Europe in the failed former Soviet state and I eat borscht for a living and I'm going to scam you at outlook.com, that's probably not me, okay? It's probably not me. So your best bet is to not send those Apple iTunes gift cards and keep your money in your pocket and don't get scammed in 2024. And as a matter of fact, I saw a video. I might start with that one just to show it. I saw a video where an elderly couple had got scammed and they took money from their account, from their actual bank. Now, this was crazy. I might not be able to find it in this time, but this is the kind of thing that goes on. You got people getting completely robbed of everything they have. And it's like, what's going to happen? All right. We got the video right here, actually. I got the video right here. And this is going to be in the Atlanta metro area. And before I begin that, I saw a super chat here. And I'll read all the super chats at the end, but I saw one that kind of pointed it out. Jonathan says, what are some areas around Atlanta that are safe? Okay, this is a perfect little segue into my first video here. So this is a video I'm going to show about the scam. I'll show a little bit of it, not the whole thing. But this area right here is probably the best areas on the screen. If you don't know what you're looking at the northern part of 285, where you come down from 75 north and you can get on 285 to go east. That's probably your best area right there. You're looking at Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, Chamblee, all that over there. And then you could go further out and up to Beaufort, Alpharetta. That's probably your best area to live in my humble opinion. Now, you could go anywhere in Atlanta during the daytime as long as it's tourist friendly. You could go to downtown during the daytime. There will be some crackheads and whatnot. Personally, I don't like going downtown Atlanta. It's too many. That's where the crackheads congregate. That's the crackhead village in downtown Atlanta. It's nice things down there. You go to the aquarium, whatever. I like Midtown, West Midtown, Buckhead, if I'm going to be inside the actual city of Atlanta. But beyond that, I go outside, north. Everybody north, that's where you want to be. Now, if you want to look toward the future for real estate development, you might want to go East Point, College Park. That's going to be totally gentrified in a minute. That'll be the new Buckhead in the southern part of Atlanta by the airport. But really, you want to be up as far north as possible. That's why I live in Chattanooga, which is as far as you can get north from Atlanta without necessarily being too far away. But anyway, I digress. This is a story about a scam that targeted a Georgia couple. All right, check it out.
Well, a Gwinnett couple got bilked out of $49,000. It was lifted right out of their Chase accounts by a scammer. The bank closed the case, said there was nothing they could do to help them. Gwinnett County Police, though, didn't walk away. Can an arrest warrant help to get the money back? The Fox 5i team's Dana Fell explores the next step in this case. This is a mess.
It is. It's terrible. And it took decades, truly, for the Mosses to save close to $50,000. But Gwinnett Police told the Fox 5i team it only took 19 minutes for scammers to drain their bank accounts. How it happened exactly is still not perfectly clear, but an arrest warrant gives the retired couple hope they can get answers and, fingers crossed, their money reimbursed.
I received
The loud noises are RP to the headphone users.
texts saying that they were from Chase Fraud Department and that my husband's debit card had been compromised.
Gwinnett County Police say
See, I ain't gonna play the whole thing, but she's getting texts on her phone talking about her husband's card had been compromised, and then they started going through this whole rigmarole about send us this, send us that. Look, if I get a text from the bank, they talking about some fraud or something like that, I'm gonna call them. Like, I'm not texting my bank. I'm gonna call them on the phone from the number on my credit card, or you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go to the actual bank in person, show up. Like, yo, what's okay? I got this text on my phone. What's happening? Can we get some clarification? I'm not just going to be trusting a text on my phone. The same way people shouldn't be trusting YouTube comments or emails. People tell you anything. They will literally tell you anything. I barely trust people when I'm face to face. I would barely trust the bank when I'm in the bank. And I most certainly would not trust a text message from someone claiming to be from the bank.
say it took less than 20 minutes to empty Gary and Gloria Moss of their life savings, $49,000.
Well, I know not to click the links, so I called the number.
Gloria Moss chatted with a woman, never offering passwords or personal information, she says. She believed she was canceling her card. In ways still unclear, she was being ripped off. But everywhere the Mosses turned for help, doors closed. A complaint to Chase Bank. Case closed. A complaint to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Case closed. When we talked to the Buford couple in April, they were exasperated.
Buford, nice area. Very nice area. Look, like very nice people living in a nice home, and then they get scammed of their money that they had in their account. That's pretty bad. Now, something else about that particular area, you got Lake Lanier. Do not go to that lake unless you'd like to die. Well, you can go to the lake, but if you want to start swimming and stuff like this, understand that you got a high risk. Lake Buford, not Lake Lanier, which is by Buford, is like the Bermuda Triangle.
Nobody's helping us. Nobody cares.
Chase wrote that Ms. Moss either authorized the transaction or she benefited from the theft, but they didn't say which. But the bank left the door open just a little. She says a Chase case agent said if she could prove through her phone records she didn't play a role in losing her money, they'd hear her out.
Now, that's something else that goes on, though, because sometimes people say that they're a victim of a scam, but they're in on it the whole time. I saw TikTok is probably the worst place in the world. I saw a video from TikTok where it was a guy breaking down how to do a bank scam, talking about, I'm going to tell this guy to send me some money, and then, or I forgot the way it was. I'm not trying to get anybody to know step-by-step instructions, but basically he was like, the money will get sent to my account, but somebody's going to dispute it. And then we could just break off the half. I'll dispute it and the bank will reimburse me, but really it was all a plan for us to take the money from the bank. I'm not trying to get too into detail, so that might be a little bit confusing, but basically sometimes people say they're victims of scams, but really they were in on it.
But that was harder than it sounded. After we first talked to Gloria, she got busy.
The problem was I couldn't prove it because I couldn't get a subpoena.
So in April, Gloria went to the Gwinnett County Courthouse asking how to get this subpoena for her own phone records. But her February case still wasn't assigned to a detective. But she got lucky here. An assistant district attorney happened to walk by, overheard her story. A detective soon took the case, did a forensic look at her phone records, and found an easy-to-follow path to a woman in Cypress, Texas.
Okay, somebody in Texas, not overseas. Interesting.
More than 700 miles away. On May 20th, Gwinnett County issued an arrest warrant for Audrey Michelle Townsend for felony theft for stealing $49,000.
And she also confessed to everything as far as taking the money. And but she's blaming it on as she was like a mule. And she was just there to get the money and give it to them, and then they gave her a percentage.
I don't doubt it. That's probably something that goes on. I don't doubt it at all. Yeah, but that don't mean that she's not responsible, because look, if you're a mule for some kind of scam where you get the money in your account, it's in your name or whatever, and as in return for that service you get a percentage, well, you were involved, you just weren't the head person. So now all that the person is doing is snitching to try and maybe not go to the penitentiary for a long time. That's all that is. But yeah, scammers, be very careful. It's crazy out here. The world is a bunch of scammers at this point, and it doesn't really matter how they look. They could be professional. They could be a dope fiend. Scammers are scammers. I was watching one of my favorite documentaries. I watch documentary I'm talking about right now every 6 months to a year. I watch 30 for 30 Broke. I talk about it all the time on the show. It's a really good show if you have not seen it. But basically, they're chronicling how athletes go broke, pro athletes. They make millions upon millions of dollars, and then they wind up bankrupt. And then people are wondering, how does this happen? It goes through the whole thing. One thing they spoke about was the professional scammers, meaning people that claim to be financial advisors. They claim to be accountants. They claim to be real people. They have a real business and they do real business, but then they commit crime against you, and then that hurts you financially, just like what happened to Fat Joe, the rapper. Fat Joe got locked up for tax evasion, but really what happened was he was entrusting his money guy, his tax guy, to pay his taxes for him. He would give him the money and he'd pay taxes for him. Now, this went on well for a long time, for years. But then the accountant's son became a quadriplegic from an accident. So to take care of the son, he was stealing Fat Joe's money and using it for the son rather than paying the taxes. So the IRS is like, hey, you're not paying your taxes. He's like, well, nah, I gave it to my man. He's supposed to pay it. It's like, well, look, ultimately, that's your responsibility, not his. So he can be prosecuted for stealing the money, but you still owe. And he still went to the penitentiary. And I think he even paid his money. It's so crazy with taxes. I think he paid his debt, but still went to jail. Still got locked up. Went to prison for tax evasion, although he paid it after it was due. Or it was either him that had to happen or Wesley Snipes as far as paying and still getting locked up. But the story I told about the accountant stealing the money, that happened to Fat Joe, and he got locked up for it. So be very careful out here. Trust nobody when it comes to your money. Trust nobody at all when it comes to your cash. You can have a financial advisor and they can tell you to do certain things, and you can entrust them or not. But ultimately, whatever you do with your money, whatever happens with your money, that should be under your control. Have security. Make sure ain't no loose links in your team, because even though in that documentary I'm talking about, they're talking about how there was also signature forgery, all kind of crazy white collar crimes that can get you really hemmed up. But anyway, I digress. Now,
you gave me so.
This is a good video to start the show. This is my man Trump on the golf cart. And this is a great caption from End Wokeness. Shout out to End Wokeness on Twitter. One of my favorite. I like End Wokeness on Twitter and Clown World. These are my two favorite accounts, End Wokeness and Clown World. And I saw DCF Price in here. I shout out to you as well. I see you on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to you. But that's right. Who said this? MC Wesley Snipes. Yeah, he got locked up the same way as far as tax evasion. But the caption here says, Democrats have labs full of well-funded consultants and top political strategists calculating the best way to make their candidates look cool and relatable. We got this guy in his golf cart, and they're talking about Trump. And one thing about all these consultants and whatnot, all they do is just steal money from the federal government. Washington, D.C., that metro area is the richest in the United States of America, with no industry aside from taking your money and spending it in creative ways. Okay, what's your job title? I am the assistant consultant director of how to steal money from the taxpaying citizens with no gun, no mask, bare face. That's what I do for a living. And for that job, I make $1.2 million a month. That's Washington, D.C. in a nutshell. That's why it's so expensive up there. Because if you're not working with the government, one of these high-paid jobs, you're pretty much just, you're fending for yourself. You might be part of the underclass at that point if you're not making really, really big money. That's a California story right now. We get to California and they're failed Mad Max looking. Look, Oakland, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm ranting. But Oakland, how does it look like the crack war met a natural disaster in 2024? We'll get to that later. But check this out from my man Trump.
So much. How did I do with the debate the other night?
Oh, fantastic.
He kicked that old broken down pile of crap.
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. He just quit, He's quitting the race.
Is that right?
Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
It's so amazing.
It's just so fucking bad. So,
I just can't imagine.
but can you imagine that guy dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man.
Right.
A very tough guy, and they see him. They can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just keep knocking him out, right?
So yeah, shout to my man Trump out there on the golf course. Is that Barron beside him in the car, or is that Secret Service? It might be Barron. I can't really tell. And Barron is an absolute unit. This dude Barron looking like Luka Doncic. I'm talking about 6'8". It's like, who is this dude, man? It was crazy because I remember when Trump first became the president, Barron was this little shy boy, just, in the background. Then all of a sudden he became some kind of NBA basketball player. It's like, where'd the time go? It's like seeing when your nephews grow up in front of you. It's a mess. But yeah, shout out to Trump. And what he said was right. It's like Kamala, she's bad. Kamala is very bad. Like, not bad as in just not somebody you want to vote for. Obviously, when she ran for president, she was polling at 0%. She did not do very well at all when she ran for president. And Biden obviously is Biden is one swift wind away from a wheelchair at best. Or at worst, you're talking about he might be sleep. He might be sleep, like totally done. Totally done. Now, somebody said that he announced that Joe's quitting. No, well, he did say something like that, but I think what he was referring to was the fact that there was an article talking about close allies say that Biden may drop out if he doesn't do well in the next, the interview that came out on ABC News and other public events. But some of these stories, that could be true. It might not be true. I don't really know. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised. Because look, one sandbag put in the wrong place, it's going to be a wrap. Listen, Biden said he was tired, or his doctor said that he was exhausted before or after the debate. After the debate, he had a doctor evaluation. I'm not quite sure how soon after. Was it that night when he got off stage? Was it a little bit later? Anyway, after the debate, he had a doctor's exam, and a doctor said, "Oh, you're exhausted." Look, when he came back from Europe, he was chilling for a while, and then he went to Camp David for a week before the debate to rest. I don't know about y'all, but look, if I have an entire week to rest, and then when I come back, I'm still not rested, obviously something's wrong. Something ain't right. Look, give me one good day. Listen, and the excuse was he had a cold. If I have a cold, give me 3 days and I'll be totally fine. But if you are 1,000 years old, you might need a longer recovery time. And by the way, when you have a cold, don't you sneeze and cough? I didn't hear any sneezing and coughing during the actual debate. So what was really going on? And somebody said in the comments on my video about this, they said you should replace the C in cold. Just take the C in cold off. Don't replace it, just take it off. What are you left with? Oh, that's what he is. Now, shout out to the Biden supporters out there. Listen, I'm not trying to attack you guys. I'm not trying to insult you guys. But what's going on here with this? So someone drove off from the gas pump with the actual pump still in their vehicle. just drove off, right? And then you see the bumper sticker right here in the back. Biden Harris 2020.
I had to bust a U-turn because I thought I was seeing things. Look at this shit.
Sorry for the cussing. Blame the black lady. But yeah, shout out to the Biden supporters. Hey man, let's not leave the gas pump in the actual vehicle. When you're done pumping your gas, put the actual pump back onto the receiver and go about your business. All right. Let's just practice a little bit of common sense here. Just a tad bit of common sense. That'd be good for me. All right. Now, the Biden surrogates may be a little slow sometimes. They may be a little slow sometimes, but they're also pretty angry when they don't get their way. Not all Biden supporters. Shout out to you guys who were Biden supporters and you saw the light. You were enshrouded in darkness, and now you've come to see the light. I'm glad that you come to see the light and you're not dead. You're still living. But a man right here is really upset. Now, this guy's on Roland Martin. One of these guys that's, 10% black, talking about I speak for the black community. Man, come on. Go ahead with that nonsense. You speak for yourself in your house, and that's it. All right? You speak for yourself in your house, and that's it. Barely, maybe. And you about to be the same age as Biden. Ain't nobody trying to hear what you got to say. But let's hear him anyway.
If you're not going to support Biden, shut the hell up. Attack the other guy. If you can't say nothing good, shut the hell up and focus on the other guy. That's what we got to do and get the vote out, because we got to get the young people excited about coming out to vote. The young people can save the democracy in the United States, and that's what we need to be talking about.
Now, General, I've never served in the military because I don't do well taking orders. But when it comes to debating, when it comes to being all the offensive, I am a firm believer of attack. That man stood there and lied over and over and over and over again.
I mean, listen, the talking points from the Democratic National Committee are ridiculous. Oh, he lied all the time. That's all they say. He lied. What did he lie about? Oh, you're in the way of democracy, huh? It's the same thing about Project 2025. You guys know that Trump came out and said that he does not know about Project 2025. It's not his plan. Some things in the plan are cool, he likes. Some things he doesn't like. But the Democratic convention, the DNC had a talking point of, let's attack Trump in 2025 on the Project 2025 plan. Let's say it's his plan, and let's say how it's dangerous and it's going to destroy democracy. Let's put a video on TikTok saying that, and then it just goes out there to the public. So normies that don't know any better, they're being shown the information, and whenever you say Trump, they say, what about Project 2025? Like lemmings.
And you heard Biden say, hey, I might not walk as fast as I used to. I may not talk as smooth as I used to, but damn it, I tell the truth.
Hey, Roland Martin, if you can hear me right now, you see this right here? You see that? I have something that you don't have. Look at that right there. I'm just playing. But shout out to Roland Martin. Not a fan of his content at all, but shout out to him for at least trying to help that other side. Maybe it's admirable for a guy to go down with the ship, like in Titanic when they had the violins or whatever, and the ship was sinking and they were still playing. That is Roland Martin right now. Okay, that's him. So yeah, shout out to you, sir. I salute your effort to help maybe entertain the lost souls on the sinking ship of the Democratic Party. But it's pretty much a wrap. It's a done deal. All right. Now here is yet another person on the ship playing the violin, playing whatever instrument they had while the ship was sinking. This is Miss Areva Martin. Now she's talking about how she's a delegate for California, and if they try to replace Biden with someone not named Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris is a person of color a little bit, I suppose. If they try to replace her with a Gavin Newsom, the white man, they're going to revote against Democrats. This is on Stephen A. Smith's show.
First of all, Stephen, who are we agreeing? There's a long list of Democrats. Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer. The list goes on and on and on. You've named 4 or 5 people. Where is their consensus? You've got to build consensus, and there is not consensus right now. If you pick a white man over Kamala Harris, black women, I can tell you this, we're going to walk away. We're going to blow the party up. If you pick the black woman...
Where you going to walk away to, Areva? Where you going to walk away to? You gonna walk away? You ain't going to walk away to Trump?
That's a very good question. You walk away from the Democratic Party because you are upset at the whole Kamala Harris kerfuffle. Where are you going, though? You going to vote for Trump? You vote for RFK? What are you going to do? You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. ultimately, now I hope that you would go somewhere and vote for the other side, but I don't see that happening. If you're going to do that, then let's go ahead and rock out. But I doubt it. And you guys are funny. Somebody said Black Cartman, speaking about Roland Martin, hilarious. And I don't know if Areva Martin and Roland Martin are related. I've not heard that, so I don't know. They could be, but I have no idea.
Everybody over Kamala Harris. So where are we getting agreement from on who this ideal Democratic candidate should be? Tell me that. Nobody's told me who it should be. And then tell me how you're going to get the 4,000 delegates, which I am one of them. I'm a delegate coming from California. So who's going to step out? One, tell Joe Biden you got to step aside, because everybody's not being mature about this process. Joe Biden is not just the president. There's a whole team of people. There's an administration. So if Joe Biden, when he gets reelected, which my prediction is that he will, he brings with him Kamala Harris, the most diverse administration in the history of this country. Y'all need to just stay the course. We got more Black judges appointed under Joe Biden than anyone.
It's a desperation for me. The desperation is through the roof right here. I'm hearing somebody pleading, please don't do this. Please don't do this. You have no power, though. The community and the Democratic Party has no power. Your words fall on deaf ears. Your words fall on deaf ears because regardless of what they do, you're going to vote for them. Biden got on TV and said, hey, if you don't know whether you're voting for me or for Trump, then you ain't Black. He said that on television. If you don't know whether you're voting for me or for Trump, you ain't Black. He said that on a Black show with a Black host during the scamdemic while he was campaigning. And y'all mostly still, not you guys watching, but the Areva Martins of the world. Areva Martin and her people, her ilk, still voted for that guy at a 95% rate. So they don't really care what you say. They do whatever they want and dare to do something about it. Now, if it's me and the person that I want to vote for is not doing right, they're just kind of, I'm going to do something else. Or I would abstain from voting. But they're not going to do that.
Even President Barack Obama.
That is not the point, because we're not, once again, hold on, Areva. We are not.
I don't know anything about sports, but I know you don't give up on your star player in the middle of a game.
Okay, excuse me, time out. Let me explain to you. I can give you a host of examples of when teams have given up on a star player that has gotten a bit too old and beyond his prime. It happens in sports all the time, not just with coaches, but also not just with players, but also with coaches and also with executives. That's absolutely not true.
You tell me why every Democratic primary that has taken place between the time Democratic primary started this year until today, Joe Biden has won those primaries.
And they keep putting that out there, too. They keep trotting that whole idea out there. But it means nothing because who was in the primary? Marianne Williamson, what was that, Oprah's spiritual advisor? Not a serious person. Not a serious person trying to become the president. The person, Marianne Williamson, is just trying to get her name out there, probably for more life coach clients. And RFK Jr., he may have some level of sincerity, but he does not have a chance on the Democratic side at all because of how conservative he sounds. I'm not saying he is conservative necessarily, but he sounds like it. So he has no chance over there as well. So who's in the actual debate, in the primary with him? If you had Gavin Newsom in there, it might be a different story. And if you promoted Gavin Newsom on your television airways, different story. The American people who are Democrats would prefer to have a Gavin Newsom over a Joe Biden. However, you guys know that a lot of the uninformed voters who you rely on will vote for a Joe Biden because they recognize him from Obama. They don't really want him. They recognize him. Gavin Newsom, they don't recognize as much, unless you're on the left coast. But when exposed to both, they're going to want one over the other, and it's not Joe that they want. They want Gavin. But you guys just focus on getting somebody in there that's a guarantee in your mind to have a good chance of winning. You don't care about the elder abuse. You don't care about anything. And now what's happened is it done got so bad and so out of control that the debate was a dumpster fire. This guy about to croak on television, and the American public are horrified. What is this? This is our president. This guy looks like he's about to die right now. No threat, FBI. Don't come to my house. Get on the ground now. Don't come to my house. I'm just saying. We could just call it what it is, man. The guy looks like he about to just keel over at any moment. Anyway, speaking about the president and Kamala, the cringe master or mistress, whatever it is, the queen of cringe herself, Kamala Harris, and the 1,075-year-old President Joe Biden.
And we give thanks to our commander-in-chief, the President of the United States, the extraordinary President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Ho, ho, ho. Happy Independence Day.
Okay, so it's two things you caught there. Did you catch both of this? It's at least two things, bare minimum. Two main things stood out to me. First, Kamala was going to call Joe Biden the vice president. Second, Joe Biden says, ho, ho, ho. Now, look, I'm not necessarily a genius. I'm not a rocket scientist. There's plenty of guys in this world smarter than I. However, isn't the ho, ho, ho phrase, term, expression used for Christmas? Isn't that what Santa Claus says? Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. It's Independence Day, sir. It's not Christmas. It's not the wintertime. It's the middle of the summer. It's hot. It's 100 degrees outside in the daytime under shade in Houston, Texas. What are you doing? There's not one drop of snow anywhere around you. Why do you think it's Christmas? You know why? It's because the man is mentally out of there. He's old. Somebody in my comments was like, hey, I'm a doctor for 30 years. And what I see is Parkinson's, which is also triggering some dementia. I'm no doctor. I can't diagnose this man. But if somebody says ho, 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 and it's Independence Day, 4th of July, okay, that might be a little something, a little cause for concern. And then if you chain that with other things that he's done over the past few days, weeks, months, years, it's a pattern. And when you see a pattern in this kind of behavior, just maybe there's something underlying the pattern causing the behavior. The media is so ridiculous, they have made us question ourselves. Remember that commercial, the news commercial talking about this is an apple. Hold on, I got to find that right quick. I got to find that because that was crazy. That was absolutely nuts. All right, RIP to the headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise, but let's watch this right quick. I've shown this quite a bit. This came out back in, 17? Yeah, 2017. This is a CNN ad. This might have been at the height of CNN being really terrible, really just gaslighting.
This is an apple. Some people might try to tell you that it's a banana. They might scream banana, banana, banana over and over and over again. They might put banana in all caps. You might even start to believe that this is a banana. But it's not. This is an apple.
Facts first. Okay. So when I see an apple and I say, hey, that's an apple, I should be supported. I shouldn't be gaslit. I shouldn't be shadow banned. I shouldn't be blocked off of social media. So when I say, hey, here's Hunter Biden with a whole crack pipe fully lit, getting completely geeked out of his mind, beaming to Scotty. When I say that, it shouldn't be 50 intelligence officers talking about that's from Russia. It's fake. When I see Joe Biden fall on the ground and his feet go up like a cartoon or a pet dog or something like that, or a turtle on his back on the road, the feet are up like this, right? I'm seeing the bottom of his shoes. I'm seeing the support that he has to walk and keep his balance. I'm seeing that right in my face on TV. And I've seen that on more than one occasion. When I say, hey, he's 81 years old, he appears to be in bad health. Oh, he's sharp as a tack. He's doing just fine. You know, when I talk to him, I have a hard time keeping up with him. It's like, really? For real? Is what you're going to say? I've seen this man's feet in the air on numerous occasions. He can't speak well. Oh, he's a stutterer. Please stop. Please stop. Stuttering does not make you forget things. Stuttering is when you're just stumbling over words and you saying words improperly. It doesn't make you forget. It doesn't make you say phonograph when you mean, like, I don't know, a speaker or like a more up-to-date type of thing. You're using outdated language, stumbling and fumbling. Come on, man. This guy's got to go. He's got to go. All right. Oh, here's a radio interview. And by the way, matter of fact, hold on. Can I play the first things first? Yeah. So let's play this. Now, there was a radio interview in Philly. Now, Joe, I know you don't want to travel very far from Wilmington, Delaware, where you be a lot for whatever the reason may be. So you go next door to Philly. I get it, but this is a radio interview. You ain't got to go. All you got to do is call in. Anyway, so this is a little bit more about that interview. Then we're going to hear some of the interview, pardon me, where he was doing more forgetting things and saying wrong things. All right, check it out, and let's let it roll.
The questions were sent to me for approval. I approved them.
Okay. So did you hear that? This woman says the questions were sent to me for approval and I approved them. So what does that mean? That means that the questions he was asked during the interview with the Philly radio station were already pre-planned and rehearsed. So it wasn't a spontaneous thing. Like if one of you guys call me and ask me a question that I'm not ready for, I got to be on my feet quick and answer the question. But when you're 1,000 years old with Parkinson's and dementia, allegedly, you're not going to be able to do that. When that happens, you see him devolve into a stumbling, stuttering mess of incoherence.
The questions were sent to me for approval. I approved them.
Okay, so the White House sent the questions to you ahead of the interview?
Yes.
Okay.
I got several questions, 8 of them, and the 4 that were chosen were the ones that I approved.
Okay. And the reason I ask is not a criticism of either of you. It's just that if the White House is trying now to prove the vim, vigor, acuity of the president, I don't know how they do that by sending questions first before the interview so that the president knows what's coming.
Listen, it ain't no vim. It ain't no vigor. This man, listen, one swift win, it's a done deal. His feet will go up one more time, and that'll be the last time. Again, no threat. I love the president. Shout to Joe Biden. You know, I'm going to vote for him because I don't want him to say I'm not black. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get harassed or touched on by the president. I'm not trying to have the president feeling my bicep, talking about some, I love your tattoos. Anyway, have you guys seen that video? Have you guys seen that? This dude, but look, they're telling you right here, and somebody please protect this woman. Protect this woman, man. Don't let anything happen to her because she went on TV and told something that probably shouldn't have been told, which is that the White House sent her questions for approval. She approved them, and that was the interview. But even still, with all that, he still made this blunder. Now remember, 4 questions on the phone call interview that he was coached on beforehand. He still does this. Check it out.
By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president. By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president.
So these words are out of order. He said, I'm proud to be the first vice president to serve with the first black woman and then serve with a black president. What he wanted to say was, I'm proud to have served with the first black vice president, and I'm also proud to have served with the first black president. That's what he should have said. But he did not say it. He said something else. One more time.
By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president.
This is your guy, coached on it and still got it wrong. If you're given the answers before a test and you still fail the test, at a certain point, are you I don't want to say that. Listen, I don't want to say that word. I don't want to offend the actual mental disabled out there, and I'm being sincere when I say that. But if you're given the answers to a quiz or a test or any kind of assignment beforehand and you still fail, something ain't right. Something is not right. Now, speaking about something not being right upstairs, these fine individuals had a Biden-Harris parade out there in New Hampshire. Shout out to you guys in New Hampshire. Hey, if you're in this little parade, so sorry for you. Yes, that's a parade right there. It's like a little neighborhood party. And sir, how did you get there, sir? You're in New Hampshire. Like, what's going on? Are you lost? Do you need help? Hey, man, blink twice if you are in any kind of danger. Get out of the area. If Biden shows up, you're going to get straight up harassed. You're going to get your arm touched on, your face touched on. He might give you a kiss. Get out of that vicinity, please, sir. All right, so there we have it out there in New Hampshire. We got a Biden little half parade. All right, having a good old time out there in these streets. Hold on, we got more here. We got more. Is this Jill? What's up with Jill? Like, why does she dress this way? I don't understand. Not a Mustang convertible, but of course it's not even the 5.0. You got a whole EcoBoost. Get out of here. And what kind of car is this? I don't even know what this is. It's like a old school, like one of the first Prius. So yeah. Amazing parade of cars supporting Biden. What was that? Three cars supporting Biden. Okay. Amazing parade. And we got a whole film crew with a boom mic and everything. So at a certain point, ask yourself this, are these even real people? Was this something that was just set up for the cameras? Because look, you got a boom mic right there. This is like, this could be a soundstage like Hollywood, California, where they have an entire lots dedicated to making movies. It appears like a regular neighborhood, but it's not. I don't know. Yeah, 3 cars, a whole 3 cars right there out there supporting Biden. All right. Now, we've seen the caravans for Trump go for miles. Okay, things like this right here. Miles for Trump. We don't see the same thing for Biden. The passion, the enthusiasm is not there for this man, and everybody knows it. Trump gets the enthusiasm. The common people, they love him. Biden, obviously not so much. All right, now, here is CNN, Aaron Burnett on CNN talking about kind of admitting that Biden gets all the questions before the debate. Now, you can interpret this different ways if you like. I'll just play it for you and you make your own mind up.
He goes through 6 days of preparation at Camp David.
More than that.
And they know the rules.
It was more than a week.
Okay, so more than a week. They know the rules. He practices with the mics. He knows every one of these questions is coming. and yet he couldn't fill the time. Now, I just want to, let's see what the White House is saying. Sources close to the White House are saying he had a cold, wasn't feeling well. I mean, as you would expect, that came out early on in the debate. But what accounts for someone with so much experience doing so much preparation and this being the outcome?
Honestly, I think the question answers itself. He wasn't capable of doing any better than he did.
He goes through 6 days.
So did you hear that? He knows every single one of the questions before they're asked, but he can't fill the time. So basically, here's how I take it. You can take it however you want to take it. Here's how I take it. Here's my opinion about what she said. My opinion is that he already had the answers and he had 6 days to practice. He already had the questions. He had 6 days to practice the answers. That's my opinion about what she said. And it was troubling that he couldn't fill the time, because if you have the questions, you know what you're going to say as an answer. You should practice filling your 2-minute time to maximize your exposure on the stage. What had happened quite often is that he would answer the question and leave a minute and a half left just on the board and not really finish. Now, you got Chris Wallace saying, well, he probably can't do more than that. And that's probably correct. He probably just can't do more. Although, from what I heard, he had the questions in advance. He knew what he was going to say. He had 6 days at Camp David to rest and practice. That's all he was going to do. And yet, when he came out there, he laid an egg. All that he really did, all that he really remembered was to call Trump a liar after every time he talked. That's all he was able to do. But beyond that, there was not too much he can actually accomplish. So, yeah, shout out to CNN. Keep on. I'll play that one more time. If you didn't hear what she said about him knowing every single question before it was asked. That's what she said. Now, she could just mean that he knows the topics of the day. He knows he'll be asked about his cognitive function and world conflicts and the state of the economy and what Trump has done. He knows some things. Like, we all know some things they're going to ask. Or you could take it as if he was already given the questions the same way he was given the questions before the radio interview we just saw right before this. If the White House would have to go through an approval process for a radio interview with just 4 questions, why wouldn't they do it for a debate in front of the entire world and millions of people? Why would they not do the same thing? I'm sure there's an inside person that understands what's going on. Up until recently, Karine Jean-Pierre was married to Suzanne Malveaux from CNN. Up until recently. So if you don't think there's a connection between CNN and the White House, listen, I got a lake full of water to tell you in Phoenix, Arizona, a big lake right now. If you believe that there's no connection between CNN and the White House or mainstream media in general in the White House, as far as backdoor stuff, oh, here's the questions. Remember, hold on. You know what the biggest proof is when they got Roger Stone from his house in Florida and CNN was there before the police got there. How did you know that was going to happen? How did CNN arrive before the police or the feds or whoever was there? It's because there's a connection between the mainstream media and the government, a direct connection. Not only a connection as far as cooperation, but also a way to try and mold the press to whatever they want. Social media, same way. Hey, I know there's an article published from New York Post about Joe Biden's son smoking crack right before the election in 2020. What we're going to do is go ahead and silence that, because that's going to hurt the president. So if anybody posts it, you might be brought up on charges. Anybody that posted on your social media platforms, delete it, ban them, do whatever you got to do. That came straight from the top. Straight from the top. So while we're criticizing Twitter and Facebook and whatnot, understand that they're getting pressure from the feds. They do their own thing as far as the liberal stuff, of course, but they also get pressure from the feds to do certain things that they shouldn't be doing to protect their interests and not ours. But let's check this out one more time.
Days of preparation, At Camp David.
More than that.
And they know the
It was
rules.
more than a week.
Okay, so more than a week. They know the rules. He practices with the mics. He knows every one of these questions is coming.
He knows every one of the questions is coming. He's practicing with the mic. He knows the questions are coming. I think he had the questions already and still couldn't do better than what he did. Now, imagine if you didn't have the questions beforehand, what was going to happen? Oh, it would have been a mess. It would have been a complete mess. Now, have you guys seen this? This was a crazy video here. I'm going to turn the sound down because we got some music going on. Now, there's some kind of rally Biden is at, okay? You got a young lady right here, black lady holding the Biden-Harris sign. She's all excited, and he just walks right past her. Walks right past her. All right, one more time. Okay, my man right here getting the whole selfie and everything. And then the lady with the Biden-Harris sign is right in front of him. And then I don't see a handshake. I don't see nothing. You see her face. Look at her face. Hold on. She disappointing. Hey, but look, I don't gotta shake your hand, black lady, because you vote for me anyway. That's if that happened to me, that's what I would think. That's what I would be thinking. So hopefully, young lady, you just realize that this person is not your friend, not your president, and you go another direction. Okay? Maybe he wanted to sniff the lady right there instead of her. Okay, whole conversations, touching, all of that kind of stuff with the lady right there. Yeah. So, hey, if that happens to you and you still, look, selfies and all that, if that happens to you and you still vote for that guy, they're going to keep doing it like that. It's like a bully. It's like a schoolyard bully. If you don't challenge the bully, defend yourself, he'll keep bullying you. Same thing with black folks in the Democratic Party. Look, you're going to keep on getting that same kind of treatment if you keep on voting for him with nothing in return. I don't understand it. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to keep voting for anybody that does nothing for me. Why am I voting for you? What's the purpose? Now, I'm not talking about handouts or anything like that. I'm talking about just having policy that makes the country great, that makes it easy for me to navigate in this world, put out things, produce things, and make a living for myself, have safety. I don't want no government handouts, none of that kind of stuff, no checks in the pot, because checks, really, having the government checks, they just make things worse. When people just get money for doing nothing, all you're going to do is incentivize a lack of productivity, which is what happened during COVID-19. People got checks that equaled out to more than what they would get paid from working. So normies, of course, are going to quit their job and just rely on the checks. This is not very smart behavior because checks are going to be temporary. Your job is going to be a little bit more permanent, but they don't care about that. They care about the money right now. That's the normie kind of underclass mentality. And you're going to get bad things as a result. So I'm not in favor of government benefits and handouts. All you got to do really is kind of get out the way and let me operate. Your job as a government is to protect the nation. They're not doing that right now. We got all these wars happening. We're sending a bunch of money to all these random countries all over the planet. We're doing regime change in Bolivia, and the southern border is wide open, bringing in all kind of drugs, guns, slavery, human trafficking, disease, all kind of stuff. They're talking about, oh, it's a brand new disease in New York City we've never seen before. Talking about something that comes from a European tourist. Okay, sure. You got 150,000 migrants from all over the world in one little small place. You're going to have a bunch of disease and things like this that come as a result, of course. And it's so crazy how they changed their policy. Remember during C-19, you had to get a vaccine or else. But the border hoppers never even had the flu shot. Never even had a shot for, they never had chicken pox. They never had any kind of childhood vaccinations. They never had nothing. But they could come over their border and it's fine. And they get all kind of benefits and things of this nature. It's crazy. Now, here is Kamala Queen Cringe Kamala. All right, check it out. Now, I guess what's happening here, you got some kind of kids dancing group, and then Kamala is right there with him in her jeans and blazer. Now, look, Kamala, I know you had better moves when you were dating Montel Williams back in the day in California. I know when you and Willie Brown were doing your thing, you had better moves, or at least I hope. You might just been arm candy. I don't know what's going on, because these moves, you know what I'm saying, it's not really doing it for me. Is it an old video? Oh, there go Doug in the back. There goes her husband in the back. The guy doing the football drills. Need you see your chest? That's him right there in the back. So yeah, shout out to Kamala, the Seinfeld dance. Yeah, like Elaine. Shout out to Elaine. All right. Now, so RFK Jr., how do you guys feel about RFK Jr.? There's RFK Jr., I think is okay. Actually, nah, I think I don't like RFK Jr. I don't hate him. It's not like a Joe Biden kind of dislike. It's the Kennedys and coming from that kind of family. I'm not really sold. So there's an accusation against RFK Jr. talking about he had assaulted a babysitter, or he was just being too aggressive. Basically, what happened was when he was in his 40s, he was 45 years old. He was inappropriate with a babysitter, talking about, hey, he had a shirt off one day in front of her while it was just them two by themselves. You talking about something, hey, I have lotion right here. Can you put it on my back? Stuff like that he was doing. Then he was like touching her inappropriately, things of this nature. Okay. This is an allegation from a babysitter in a Kennedy family. Just an allegation. I'm not saying he did it. I'm not saying he didn't do it. It's an allegation. And we've seen quite a few allegations against people. We saw the whole Brett Kavanaugh kerfuffle, which was crazy. Christine Blasey Ford got put on the cover of Time magazine. It was like, what? Really? Time magazine? Mainstream media sucks so bad. But anyway, she got put on the cover of Time magazine, got a big bag of money, and fled. Never seen or heard from her since. Now, obviously that was fake, and he had people on his side to defend him. It was like 100 women that came out publicly to support Brett Kavanaugh and say he would never do this. I love him. He was a Boy Scout. He would always protect the women. He was never that kind of guy. It took all of that to defend against the allegations. Now, RFK Jr. is facing a similar allegation, but the defense is not quite the same as was with Brett Kavanaugh. Now, I'm not going to say that everybody will get the Brett Kavanaugh kind of defense to have. I've never seen that. I've never seen that before or since, where somebody gets accused of sexual assault and then you have a carnival of women come out to support him. I've never in my life seen that. But this defense, I'm not quite really sure of. Check it out.
I am not a church boy. I am not running like that. I said in my...
I am not a church boy. Okie dokie. What that mean? That mean that if you're not a church boy, you get to assault women? What that mean?
I am not a church boy. I am not running like that. I said in my... I had a very, very rambunctious youth. I said in my...
Youth at 45?
Announcement speech that I have so many skeletons in my closet that if they could all vote, I could run for king of the world. Mm-hmm. So, this Vanity Fair is recycling 30-year-old stories, and I'm not, going to comment on the details of any of them, but I am who I am.
Now, look, I was saying on Twitter that RFK looks as bad as Joe Biden. He does not look good to me. He may look like he's physically fit because he has muscle tone on his body from taking testosterone at his age, at 70 years old. But he does not look good. Look at his face. His looks very swollen. Fire truck red. It's not a tan I see. I'm seeing a lot of blood in his face. His face looks swollen. His voice obviously does not sound good. And he said that a parasite ate part of his brain. He said that. He said the parasite ate part of his brain. I think he looks unhealthy, personally. And again, you might see him with his shirt off and say, oh, he looks virile. Look at his face, though. Look at his face. Just like how we see sometimes with these Hollywood celebrities, they may have painted on the abs like Taraji Henson, but does it mean they're healthy? I don't really know. So, yeah. He may work out. He may look physically fit, but looks can be deceiving. You got these bodybuilder guys dropping dead of a heart attack at 35 years old. So what that mean? You got muscles. Okay, so what? What that mean? You got to be healthy internally. Your muscles and all of that activity don't really mean nothing. Show me the elderly bodybuilders you see out there. When you see old people, they're going to be slim, not obese, not no big muscle head looking like Liver King, about to explode from all the drugs you put in your body, look like that, from testosterone, all this, that, and the third. Look, you don't look healthy. Okay? AMG says, Mike, could you on cortisone drugs all puffed up? Yeah. He don't look good to me. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Okay, we got more here. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We're going to get into some Independence Day festivities in a minute. But here's some illegal aliens. This is also from In Wokeness. It says illegal migrant in New York City complains about the taxpayer-funded food at the shelter. Now they get debit cards for better food. Imagine getting a debit card for food when you live in New York City and you say, yo, the food in the shelter is not very good. I want something better. I want to be fancy.
Fuentes is a mother of 3. She arrived 9 months ago and has been staying at the Anchor Hotel in Queens, where she says the food is not fresh and many times she ends up buying food outside. She hopes to obtain one of these cards this time around. We don't eat here often because you can tell the food is not fresh. The cards provide families a 28-day allowance to purchase food and baby supplies at stores that sell groceries and convenience items. As of June 16th, since its launch, the program has helped 900 families.
So check it out. I came from Dominican to the USA. I might not be here legally, but check it out. I want better food. The food you guys are serving me, it's not very good. I want to go to Trader Joe's. I want to go to Whole Foods. I want better stuff. So give me a debit card. Sure, no problem. Here you go. And at a certain point, it's like, okay, where is the money coming from? In New York City, they wanted to cut certain programs. They may have done it. I'm not quite sure. But in Chicago, I covered the story of the guy who had a crazy increase on his property tax bill for his house. Now, they retracted it, talking about, oh, it's a mistake, and we didn't mean to, all this, that, and the third. But I don't believe that. I think what happened was they wanted to increase it, and they were trying to see if people would pay it. Listen, if everybody paid their bills, the higher bills, because my man I'm about to talk about right now is not the only one. There were 4,400 people affected by erroneous tax bills that were too high. If people paid the bill because they ain't want any kind of smoke, nobody would say anything. They take your money gladly. Like the IRS. Hey, if the IRS owes you money, good luck getting that back. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle to get that money back. But if you owe them money, oh my goodness. One day late, man, they're going to be on your hind parts. You might get knock on your door. Mr. Logan, we know you're in there. You owe us $5 from your 1040. We need that right now. Gunpoint. Look, they training IRS agents with firearms. Gunpoint. Get out right now. Give us the $5. Get out right now. That's how they be. That's how they be, man. Straight up. And we want interest on top of that. So with interest, your $5 is now $20. Come on outside, pay it right now. Cash money. Okay, here go the cash. They come back 1 week later. Yeah, we didn't get the $20. I gave it to you in cash. Look, we didn't get the $20. There's no record of it. I hate these people. But anyway, check it out.
Now to a
this is my man out there in Chicago that got robbed, or they tried to rob him. His property tax bill for his house was normally $1,800 per year. Then it went to $35,000 for 1 year. $35,000. All right, check it out.
South suburban man who got quite the sticker shock when he opened his property tax bill, a tax hike of more than $35,000.
We've been warning about a spike in taxes across the south suburbs. Well, tonight, Tia Ewing has the massive mistake on this homeowner's bill. Tia.
Well, Dawn and also Scott, the current homeowner, says that he received this tax bill showing that his property, his home that was built in 1950, was assessed at over a little more than $1 million. But Daryl Lloyd says that his home is only worth a little more than $180,000.
I was devastated. I'm like, let me look at the percentage, but.
So before he continues, the house is right there behind him. The light blue, that's the house right there. Now, do you think there's any way in this world that house in any state in this country could yield a $35,000 tax bill? It's not a delinquent bill. It's not accumulated from previous years. It's just 1 year, $35,000. How could that house fetch that kind of tax bill?
But I was literally devastated when I saw that increase.
Daryl Lloyd lives a modest lifestyle. He bought this 3-bedroom, 1-bath home in 2006 and paid cash $115,000.
Doing everything right. Look, diesel mechanic, hardworking man, tax-paying citizen, paid for his house in cash, no mortgage, $115,000 out there in the South Chicago suburbs. The house is worth $180,000. They're trying to say his house is actually worth over $1 million, and he owes this crazy amount of money for it. This is the kind of way they would steal your home. They say now that it was a mistake, but only after you got the news involved. Check it out.
I see 960 square feet. I don't have a second floor. I don't have a basement.
Just days ago, his home sweet home on Gardner Avenue in unincorporated Chicago Heights felt more like a nightmare.
I'm at a loss. So right now, I don't know what to do. I can't even sell the house because they see the taxes. Everybody gonna run.
This is the tax bill that Lloyd received last year.
So look, his last year bill it made sense, and it was in 2 installments, right? For tax year 22, but billed in 23. Same way your taxes are for your federal. So the first installment was $1,592.72. The second one was $228.10. Okay, that makes sense. That's like reasonable for a house that he paid $115,000 and it's not worth $180,000. That makes sense.
A little over $1,800, but this is the whopping bill he received last week, a property tax hike of over 3,811%.
Like what? Like there's no way. And look, so back to this one, the 23 building 24 tax bill. The first one, $1,001.45. That's pretty much in line with the last one. And then the next one was $29,573.44 in the same year. Like, what are we doing? How? There's no way to explain that other than there's a mistake or you're trying to rob me or both.
A property tax hike of over 3,811% for a total of over $30,000. The property was valued at over $1 million.
Nothing over here is worth $1 million.
So somebody was asking, hey, what is it? What is everybody else paying in the neighborhood? Nothing in the neighborhood is worth $1 million. You're in this, small Chicago suburb. You see the security door. It's just, a little small area. It's not $1 million homes out there.
The diesel mechanic and safety inspector is currently receiving disability after suffering an injury.
I had to move in with a relative or something. I can't afford it.
The Cook County Treasurer's Office says, sadly, Lloyd.
Now, that might be a Corvette right there. I can't really tell. The red car.
It isn't the only homeowner with a large tax bill. The office conducted this analysis and found that, quote, the assessor's office acknowledged it erred in calculating land values for more than 4,400 homes in the south and southwest suburbs. That led to severe overassessments for homes on larger plots of land. The errors were discovered too late in the process for them to be corrected before tax bills were calculated, printed, and mailed. Lloyd says he went to the Cook County Tax Assessor's office to get help and kept getting the runaround.
I said, let me go downtown City Hall to the assessor's office. And at that point, I showed them my taxes and I told them that I had a substantial increase, and they was like, everybody taxes increase. I talked to another gentleman. He looked around and made some calls, and he said, well, I called another department. They won't answer the phone.
That's when Lloyd called us about the $1 million mistake. Fox 32 was able to reach the assessor's office, and tonight we have confirmation that the astronomical tax increase is a mistake. The assessor tells us, quote, this property was given an incorrect assessment due to a permit that was unintentionally applied to the property. We will process a corrected tax bill for this property in the coming weeks.
So, oops, it was a mistake. Oops. And it was like 4,400 others caught up in the same mistake. Now, first he was getting the runaround. People weren't answering the phone, talking about everybody had their taxes go up. Now they want to say it was a mistake. So what's really going on? It's BS. Now, somebody said that it's a C8 Corvette. Why does he have a Corvette if he's disabled? Well, he wasn't always disabled. Obviously, he made a lot of money at one point. He was able to buy that house in cash, $115,000 in cash. So he was pretty good with his money. He made rational decisions. It's like, okay, check it out. I have my house paid for in cash. So you can get a Corvette. A Corvette don't cost that much money compared to like a Lamborghini or something crazy like that. Look, this right here, this is a 2020 Corvette Stingray. And I think that's a C8. That's the generation. 59,000. And how many miles on it? 34,000 miles. 59,000. Good condition. No dings or whatnot. I could find a Corvette Stingray for like $35,000 to $40,000 in good condition all day long. They're not expensive cars. Not like, again, like a Porsche or a Lambo or something like that, or a Maybach Benz. It ain't quite that way. Like that's part of the reason why I got a Mustang, because they're inexpensive. They're common. People can work on them in a dealership. It's not a McLaren or a Porsche or something crazy like that. Yeah. So they're not really expensive cars. But if you have you have a good job, you're a safety inspector, you're a diesel mechanic, your house is paid for in cash, you have you don't have really high expenses, that makes sense. You're able to afford it. He probably paid for it in cash. Yeah, I've not been inside a vet that I can remember. Yeah, I heard about the height. My Mustang is perfect. The height and everything is perfect. Yeah, I love it. Love Mustangs for sure. Yeah, but I've seen some pickup trucks that cost more than that nowadays. Oh my goodness. Like try getting an F-150. Not F-150. Well, yeah, F-150. Or actually try getting a new Taco, a Tacoma. Oh my Lord. They cost more than the old vet. These are like $65,000 for a 4-banker. I'm like, ew. A four-cylinder mid-sized truck for $65,000, I would never. That costs more than my F-150 brand new. I would never. But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Actually, Robert, my Mustang, I got plenty of room in it. I'll say one thing. the back seat is pretty much non-existent. There is a back seat, but if I'm in the car, there's no way you get in the back seat. My seat is touching the actual back seat. There's no room at all. So I can't put anything back there. Maybe some groceries or something like that in the seat, the bucket seats, but ain't nobody sitting back there. So for a 2-seater, it's fine. But to have a family, forget about it. Get a Honda Passport or something like that, and you be good to go. All right. Now let's go to London right quick. A Prius, I would never. A Prius, I would never. I don't like electric or electrified cars. Hybrids, I guess hybrids are okay, but I'm good. I want all gas, personally. I don't trust the electric component. Maybe a hybrid. That'd be okay. But if it's like a Tesla truck, and by the way, I've seen those in person, ugly. Listen, a Tesla truck is ugly. I'm sorry. Elon, you're a great guy. I love what's happening with X. Keep on doing what you're doing. But the Tesla truck, but ugly. It's like a moving refrigerator. When I first came to this house, I was excited to be able to get, for the very first time in my life, a chrome refrigerator. For the very first time, I was excited. I'm dealing with the old school white fridges, no races. Shout out to the white fridges. But I want something a little bit more upscale, a little bit more upgraded. So let me get the chrome fridge. And then I see the Elon truck. All I can think about is a moving chrome fridge. The tailgate, the bed, completely useless. You can't really do nothing. I don't like them. And I don't like electrified vehicles. But anyway, it's unique. It's definitely a head turner. You see it in traffic. But would I want to drive that? No, I'm good. All right, let me see. Hefty Joe says, seen some reviews on the truck, and they all have terrible, uneven panel gaps. Yeah, the panels are crazy. It's razor sharp, get real hot in the sun. And now I'm seeing guys put wraps on it. They look like big toys. I'm cool. I'm good. All right. Is it stainless steel that's on them? Yeah, I don't like it. I don't. Yes, that's what I meant. Stainless steel fridge. I know what I meant. Stainless steel fridge. Pardon me. So this is over in London, UK. You gotta hear you gotta listen to what she says. Check it out.
And so 20,000 is not enough. 30,000 is not enough. Are at saturation point, because what does it matter if we have to wait another week for a hospital visit, or if our class sizes are slightly bigger, or if our city is slightly fuller? What does it matter if things are slightly more challenging, if we have to go and
so basically what she's saying here is why does it matter if immigration means we need to wait a week more for the hospital? It's like, ma'am, that might be kind of important so here's what could happen. You present something to me. You present two different possibilities. One, we have more so-called immigration, migration, whatever you want to call it, and we have longer wait times at the hospital and fuller class sizes with more disruption, or we don't have so many migrants and we don't have to wait another week for the hospital for a doctor visit. Yeah, no, I can't do it. Shout out to you guys over across the pond over in UK. You guys are really troopers. Me personally, I couldn't do it. We are not going to go down that way. All right. Hold on. JK says, this is why I spit tea into the sea on July 4th. Hilarious. Or you spit tea into the sea on July 4th. Hilarious. All right. Now, this is a fourth celebration, Independence Day celebration in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. They tried to ban religious symbols at the actual event, but it didn't work. Check it out. So I'm seeing a bunch of wooden crosses, like pretty big, almost like maybe like 4 foot tall wooden crosses. Maybe about a good 5 foot, 6 foot tall. I can't really tell. Probably about a good 5 foot tall, wooden cross. People have crosses on their t-shirt. Yeah, they really with it. Shout out to the Christians out there. So yeah, shout out to Coeur d'Alene. Shout out to you guys out there. Hopefully you guys stay Coeur d'Alene and don't become California, as a lot of the west of the USA has become. Now, here we have some Free Palestine protesters burning the American flag on Independence Day.
The fucking terrorists hate America.
Sorry for the cursing. Don't blame me, blame the white man.
Fuck this video! Fuck you, leave the country, you hate America. Fuck you. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
So this says death to all kings, and they have a picture of Trump and Biden with a burning American flag. So we got anarchists, I suppose. There's always some kind of new movement for people to get involved in that can be disruptive. The Free Palestine, before that, like Occupy Wall Street, Black Lives Matter, all that kind of stuff. Chaz Chop over in Seattle, Washington. There's always something for them to get involved in. When you have no sense of community, no sense of purpose, you get involved with things like this. And there's also the paid aspect of it, because I presume at least some of them are getting paid for this. So yeah, that's what's happening out there. I forget what this is. Where is this at? This is Washington Square Park, pardon me. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. And we have another thing out there in New York City. Fourth Independence Day celebration, fireworks popping, and a bunch of Free Palestine flags flying around. Yeah, nah, that's where I don't want to be. If I'm going to an Independence Day celebration, it's pretty deep. A lot of people out there. But look, if I'm going to an Independence Day celebration, if I want to go see fireworks, if I see a Palestinian flag, I'm good. Shout out to the Palestinians. Shout out to everybody over there. Israel, Palestine. Shout out to everybody. I want peace for everybody. But I already know what I'm going to be faced with when I see that kind of behavior. You know, when I see these Fortnite humans roaming around, I already know what time it is. And a Fortnite human, you know what that is? I'm going to show you right quick. If you have not seen what I'm talking about so far. All right, hold on 1 second. This might be it right here. Yeah, this right here is an example of Fortnite humans in the gas station acting the fool. So if I'm seeing somebody that has a little bit of a weight issue, that has unflattering clothing on, and I'm seeing the purple mohawk, the matching purple hair with a couple, hey, you know what? I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems with whatever you got going on. I promise I don't want it. Okay? Fortnite humans, that's what's going on. Fortnite humans, TikTok humans, I don't want to be around them. If I see you approaching me, I'm going to cross the street. I'm going to go that way, right across the street. Now, shout out to everybody popping fireworks, but maybe you shouldn't do it right in the center of the road. Does anybody care? Listen, does anybody care about popping fireworks in a safer place? You're in the center of the street. That's nice. That's cool. That's nice. But in the center of the road, don't nobody look, it's a car right there. It's a whole car right there. Now imagine you're in Los Angeles going from point A to point B, and somebody's in the actual road where you got to drive, popping fireworks. Yeah, it's kind of dangerous. It is pretty dangerous because these fireworks look nice and everything, but if you're not doing things properly, it could go a whole different direction. All right, speaking about Los Angeles, here we go. This is out in LA. We have an attempted Tesla carjacking. And I'm not sure what this is. Is it just a regular? I don't know what kind of, I don't know what model it is, but it's a Tesla.
Get the fuck out the car.
Go, fool.
Get out the phone.
Now, look, I got to do a little bit of criticism here. I'm not saying that the guy should be getting carjacked. But if you're living in Los Angeles, you might as well be a little bit street smart here. Ain't nobody coming the opposite direction. The traffic would stop. You need to go and just put the pedal to the metal. Listen, if I get approached at a stoplight by some dope fiends in Los Angeles, get out the effing car. Man, look, I'm pedal to the metal. I'm going to be flying out of there. And you got a Tesla, that torque going to go crazy. I'm out of the way. And you could be like, oh, call the police, call the cops. Man, listen. And if I'm home, if I'm out here where I live at, hey, man, first of all, if I have the ability to, I'm going to get out of the way. But first, I'm going to observe what's happening, see anybody suspicious. If somebody said battery died, hilarious. Imagine you trying to escape and your battery died, or it could be a software update. Oh, don't go nowhere yet. We got a software update. Well, look, I'm getting carjacked. What do? How do I override the software update to prevent from getting carjacked? But anyway, listen, if it's me and I'm here in my home, first, I'm going to observe what's going on around me. Second, I'm going to have that thing ready to rock and roll. One in the head, ready to rock. It's going to be on my lap like a seatbelt, like right there. Boom. You get within my perimeter, within my zone of my car, it's up. It's up and it's stuck, as the cool kids say. The pistol is up off my lap and it's stuck on you. If you're approaching me any kind of nonsense. But if you don't approach me like that, I'm all sunshines and rainbows. I'm a big teddy bear. You do something the wrong way, now you're going to have an issue. So yeah, man, carjacking, broad daylight, middle of the day, LA, sunny, beautiful day in Los Angeles, getting carjacked for your Tesla. Now, ultimately, they didn't take it.
They're calling the steering wheel.
They're calling the police. They're calling 911. There's like 10 people over there calling 911.
Get the fuck out the car.
Yeah, man, I would have pedaled to the metal. Like, forget all the nonsense. Okay. Hit the plastic, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, you going to hit the, but they say it's not even the gas pedal. It's the drive pedal. Yeah, I'm going to put the drive pedal down to the floor. And hopefully it doesn't get stuck on me. It doesn't, the pedal don't slide off like the brake pedal was. Nah, matter of fact, it was the accelerator. The accelerator on the Tesla truck was sliding off because of the design. It was glued on there. Anyway, the pedal would slide off and push it into a permanent accelerated state. These cars, they suck. But nah, here's New York City. New York City. What's going on in New York City? We need to have an intervention. This woman is on the interstate with a bicycle in traffic. And it's even crazier at the end when you see what's really going on with this woman.
Word of mine, Des, she is bugging. One bump and that kid is a goner, nigga. Word of mine, Des, where she even went?
Now look, you have two children on the back of the bicycle. You got a white lady riding it. Probably mixed kids. I see a little afro. Shout out to the afro. But one kid is in a little basket type situation in the back. And another kid appears to be kind of on the basket, but also holding on to the back of her mom. And the mom's back is not really small, so it's kind of like you bear hugging a big blueberry or something like that. You understand? This is you're on the interstate with a bicycle with children on the back. New York, please. Can we please fix this? can we please fix this, man? Like, I've never seen that before in my life. I've seen some crazy things on this internet. Some crazy things. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. We got some more here that I want to get to. We got to get to the Biden ABC News kerfuffle. All right. So hold on. But before that, I got a few more. I really want to show before we get to the Biden situation. All right. Yeah, I have some good ones. Okay. Now, I have a theory about Oakland, California. It's a theory about Oakland, California. Now, I'm going to play a video. And as the video's playing, I'm going to talk over it. It's not really necessary to have the sound. But this says, mob of 80 to 100 looters broke into and robbed an Oakland gas station market of an estimated $100,000 in merchandise on Friday morning. It took police 9 hours to arrive on the scene. Now, here is a video of the group ransacking the gas station. Now, I could do videos on Oakland every day. I could have an entire channel dedicated to Oakland crime, like how they had the Chicago, the Warren Chirac from DJ. I could have that for Oakland. Now, I think Oakland might be the worst city in the country, period. The worst, I guess you say, big city, major city of its size in the entire nation. My opinion is that they want Oakland to fall completely and become abandoned like Detroit. So then when it becomes abandoned, people are able to move in that are not going to be disruptive like this. It'd be East San Francisco. That's my opinion. Because this kind of behavior, if it's allowed to continue, it's unsustainable. It's totally unsustainable. At a certain point, the city will fall. Nobody wants to live in a place like this. Nobody wants to open a business in a place like this. So you have no people that are of any kind of productive value at all, no businesses, no economics. What will keep it afloat? At a certain point, you're going to start to see more and more abandoned things, abandoned homes, and the city will die. That's right, Mike. Oakland is gentrifying. Yes, because San Fran is only so big. And if you want to live over there, you go over to the other side. Now, there's parts of that particular area over there that are not Oakland. It's not bad like this. But Oakland, that's prime real estate. Let's clear it out. Get rid of all the miscreants and the ne'er-do-wells and the 80s crack babies that have become adults. Let's get rid of them and put in some actual hardworking people, some people that got money that are not just useless eaters. Let's get all of them out of there. Let's cleanse this area of the garbage. That might be the plan. And if it's not, I can't tell. Because at a certain point, you got crime going on and you refuse to do anything about it. If that's happening, in my opinion, you want it to happen. You're doing it on purpose. You're allowing the crime to persist. Now we're getting the mayor, her house getting raided by the feds. It's like, man, come on. This is ridiculous. I think everybody knows the city is dying. They want it to die. And on the way down, they want to loot it. They're looting it for whatever they can, from the mayor down to the regular, everyday 25-year-old crack baby that wants to act a fool in Oakland. That's what's happening, in my humble opinion. But I digress. How did they get rid of them? Well, what's going to happen is there's going to be no more money, no more infrastructure. It's like Detroit. All the abandoned homes come from a lack of jobs, a lack of anything. So, all right, what are we going to do? Let's leave. Same thing like East Cleveland, all that. It's the same thing. They're going to abandon it. There's already plenty of abandoned spots in Oakland as it is. And that'll continue. And then once people are starting to leave and the crime goes down to a minimum because everybody's out of the way, then they'll come back in and build it up. And what a thing they do over here on this part of the country is when they're clearing out a place for it to be gentrified, they build places for low income people far away. They'll put you back in the country, like how they did in Virginia and Smithfield. You got this hood in the middle of nowhere. Like, I was driving out there from, I think, Chesapeake or Suffolk to Smithfield, and this hood called Jersey Park. It's literally middle of nowhere. You trees. All of a sudden, you take a right-hand turn, it's the ghetto right there. They're going to do that all over the country. Let's put y'all over there, and let's let the civilized people live right here in the city. And that goes for whatever color you are. Black folks first, obviously. Then the ridiculous gang-banging Hispanics. Then the dope fiend, opioid-addicted whites. Go over there, and we're going to be over here. That's a plan in my humble opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm incorrect. I don't know. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got a lot to get into. Oh, Greta Thunberg got arrested yet again. Now, is there a reason why Greta Thunberg never walks when she's arrested? It's always her getting carried. At a certain point, I'm like, yo, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to be carrying you like some kind of princess, all right? I'm going to actually have to, like, do something else. I ain't carrying you. I'm not here for no photo op. I'm not here for your press release. Look at this. They're posing for a photo. Do you see this? They posed for a photo. Am I tripping? Wait a minute. A camera's right there. I don't know where they at. Poland or somewhere. I can't tell. Somewhere in Europe. She's posing for a picture. The camera's right there. Listen, a lot of movies that we saw when we were younger, if you're my age, they're coming true. Idiocracy, obviously, that came true. The Truman Show, I feel like we're involved in the Truman Show right now. She's getting arrested. The police stop with her. Hey, take a picture. Selfie time. TikTok. What's going on? Like, what is happening? Is it just me that sees what's happening here? Greta Thunberg, how dare you, the climate activist who is now just, I don't know what she does now. A rabble-rouser at best. All right, let's get into the whole Biden situation, shall we? Let's get into the Biden situation. Is all a show? Yeah, it's all a show. All of it is a show. Hired the photographer, wanted to get arrested, and then when she got arrested, great. I get to get carried again. I'm not going to walk anymore. And then when the cameraman comes, I can walk all of a sudden, and I can smile, and I'm with the cops. I'm posing. Yeah, look at me. I'm so oppressed. I'm so marginalized as a woman. And the next thing is going to be, I'm LGBT. I'm marginalized. But anyway, here's your man Joe saying, look, I'm not going anywhere. And is that Lloyd Austin right there? Listen, can we get people that are healthy? Lloyd Austin had prostate cancer and vanished and went to Walter Reed talking about it was just a checkup and it wasn't no big deal. Man had prostate cancer at 70 years old. Can we get people that aren't about to be on their deathbed? And here's Joe talking about something. Check him out.
You got me, man. I'm not going anywhere. All right. All right, I'll come back out when they open the gate, okay? Thank you. One last thing. You know, I used to think when I was a senator, there were always congestion on the highways. There's no congestion anymore. None. Regarding the highway, there's no congestion. And so the way they get me to stop talking, they'll say, we just shut down all the roads, Mr. President. You're going to lose all the votes if you don't get in. But anyway, I'll be back out. Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
the little jog. Hey, look at me. I'm so virile and young. I can jog for half a second. A little trip jog. So he's like, where do I go? How do I get back inside the White House? Look at this. He's confused. Totally confused. Like, where am I going? There go one little jog again. I'm so young and healthy and virile. Look at me jog. What was he babbling about? Hey, your guess is as good as mine. I can't call it. Don't know where he's going. It's an open door right there. The same door been there for the past 4 years of you living in the White House. Listen, at a certain point, if you move into a new house, you should know very quickly how to get in and out of the house. All right. And you should most certainly know it after 4 years. But if you have dementia, maybe you might forget. Just maybe. Now here's Karine Jean-Pierre talking about the morale is very low. Oh, ain't that something?
Is there a morale issue in the White House right now?
It's a fair question, and I do have a couple of things I want to say. As you just said, the Chief of Staff, Jeff Zients, did have an all-staff call. He wanted to gather the team across the building and acknowledge what the President said himself, right? That the last few days have been challenging. We've been very, very clear in acknowledging that. But we have had an extraordinary record to be proud of, and we know we have more work to do. The President says that all the time. He conveyed the importance of executing on our mission. He talked about the importance of coming together as a team and also having each other's backs.
Is there a morale?
So yeah, that's what's happening right now. Low morale because they know they can't really hide what's happening with Joe Biden anymore. Okay, it's a whole lot of stuff going on. And also Karine Jean-Pierre was trying to say that he did not have any doctors evaluating him since February, but that wound up not being true. I got audio right here. I'll play it.
Can you clear up something from last week? So you had said that the president hadn't been seen by the doctor at all, and then in a call with the governors, the president said that he had a checkup. So I just wondered, can you explain the discrepancy?
Let's speak to that. So he did have a short verbal check-in in the recent days about his cold. It wasn't a medical exam or physical. Just want to be super, super clear about that. It was a conversation, and his doctor didn't think an examination was necessary. I do want to take a little bit of a step back. The way that
So basically, she was saying that there was no real evaluation aside from a verbal, like, how are you doing, all this, that, and the third. The bottom line is Biden saw a doctor after the debate. He saw a doctor and got evaluated. And a doctor was saying, according to Joe, oh, you're exhausted. Exhausted. Look, he was in Camp David for 6 days before the debate. All he was doing was just preparing for the debate, and that's it. That's it. Eating applesauce and preparing for the debate. So if you can't get rested within a week of not doing much, something's wrong. Or you got a cold. Last time I checked, when you have a cold, there might be at least one sneeze or cough. I didn't hear any sneezing or coughing. Maybe I just forgot. Maybe I have failed to recall the sneeze. Just maybe that's me. I don't know. But I think that there wasn't really a cold. I think he's just old. Check it out. Here's him talking about the whole situation right here.
Let's start with the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night. But your friend Nancy Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen to my instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night.
You know, you say you were exhausted, and I know you've said that before as well, but you came, and you did have a tough month, but you came home from Europe about 11 or 12 days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David. Why wasn't that enough rest time, enough recovery time?
Because I was sick. I was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the docs with me, I asked them if they did a COVID test because they were trying to figure out what was wrong. They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't. They just had a really bad cold.
Let's start with the debate.
Yeah, I mean, ain't no infection. Ain't nothing. There's no infection. There's no virus, head cold. There's something else going on. That ain't. You need to test. You need to test for something else. You need to test for something a little bit deeper. Test for a brain disorder. Get a CAT scan or something. Good Good grief, my man.
Do you
So here's some more.
dispute that there have been more lapses, especially in the last several months?
Can I run the 110 flat? No. But I'm still in good shape.
Are you more frail?
No.
I know you spoke.
Keep my schedule.
Do you dispute that there have been more lapses, especially in the last several months?
Can I run the 110 flat? No. But I'm still in good shape.
Are you more frail?
No.
Yes, that's the answer to the question. But of course, you ain't gonna say, yeah, I'm frail. Yeah, there's somebody who can say you're frail. Obviously, you are though.
I know you spoke with your.
Let's keep on going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously.
Elections are about the future, not the past. They're about tomorrow, not yesterday. And the question on so many people's minds right now is, can you serve effectively for the next 4 years?
George, I'm the guy that put NATO together, the future. No one thought I could expand it. I'm the guy that shoved Putin down.
What is this voice he's doing right now? Is this a Batman voice? Is this the what's this? The Batfleck? Are you doing the Ben Affleck Batman right now? What are you, sir?
No one thought could happen. I'm the guy that put together the South Pacific Initiative with AUKUS. I'm the guy that got 50 nations, out, not only in Europe, outside of Europe as well, to help Ukraine. I'm the guy that got Japanese to expand their budget. And for example, when I decided we used to have 40% of the computer chip, and we invented the chip, that little chip for the computer chip.
What? The computer chip? What was that all about? What was the computer chip babbling about? I didn't quite catch that one. If you guys know what he was talking about with the computer chip, y'all let me know. I don't know. He don't know what he was talking about. He could have been saying chocolate chip, computer chip, chip in your shoulder, blue chip, the movie with Shaq. He could have been saying anything, man. Who knows? Who knows?
Would you be willing to undergo an independent medical evaluation that included neurological and cognitive tests and release the results to the American people?
Look, I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day I have that test. Everything I do. You know, not only am I campaigning, but I'm running the world. And that's not how it sounds like hyperbole. But we are the essential nation in the world. Madeleine Albright was right. And every single day, for example, today, before I come out here, I'm on the phone with the Prime Minister of, well, anyway, I shouldn't get into detail, but.
He has no idea. He forgot the Prime Minister he was going to name. And yes, he does have the orange man thing going on. I think that was like that during the debate too. He had the orange glow. They put him in a tanning bed. It's like, look, man, you gotta look more virile, man. You like you about to die. You like a whole vampire out here. You like an old vampire that ain't had no blood in about 15 days, man. Like, let's put you in the let's go find Trump's old tanning bed that he was using to get that orange glow that we love. Shout out to the orange man. All right. Big up to the orange man. Let's put you into the orange tanning bed and have you get a little bit of color on your skin. But all he does look alike now is orange. He just looks orange. He still looks just as old, just orange. And I don't care what color you are. You could be white, orange, yellow, green, blue, black. You still are the same person at the end of the day. So that just goes to show you that color ain't going to fix you as an individual. If you have some kind of brain disorder, if you are an evil person, coloring your skin a different color ain't gonna make no difference. All right. So let's check it out. Here he is talking about some of the polls.
It's been a two-man race for several months. Inflation has come down. In those last few months, he's become a convicted felon. Yet you're still falling further behind.
You guys keep saying that. George, you know polling better than anybody. Do you think polling data is accurate as it used to be?
I don't think so, but I think when you look at all of the polling data right now, it shows that he's certainly ahead in the popular vote, probably even more ahead in the battleground states. And one of the other key factors there is it shows that in many of the battleground states, the Democrats who are running for Senate and the House are doing better than you are.
Well, that's not unusual in some states. I carried an awful lot of Democrats last time I ran in 2020. Look, I remember them telling me the same thing in 2020. I can't win. The polls show I can't win. Remember 2020, the red wave was coming. Before the vote, I said that's not going to happen. We're going to win. We did better in an off year than almost any incumbent president ever has done.
I mean, now listen, these clips right here are from the ABC News interview on yesterday with George Stephanopoulos that was supposed to help him, because we all know Stephanopoulos was Slick Willie's guy during his term in the White House in the 90s. So, okay, we got a friend in the media. We're going to go to him. He's going to help. But it didn't help anything at all. It just made things worse, in my humble opinion. Okay, it definitely made things worse. Do we have more here? Yeah, we do. Check it out. And look at his face, though. Is he slobbing right here? I see a little bit of moisture on the side of his mouth. It's like, sir, do you need a bib? Get that up right quick. And then the face is just like, come on, man. This is really bad. This is elder abuse. At a certain point, leave this old man alone. Find somebody else. Why can't a Democratic Party find somebody under the age of 75 that can lead the nation? Somebody was saying it in the comments, and you guys, if you agree, let me know. Somebody was saying that the boomers were the biggest generation ever as far as the population, but they deleted 70% of their offspring through abortion, so it's not enough to replace them. Do you guys believe that? Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about that. What's your opinion about the boomers not being able to replace themselves? Therefore, you're trotting out these fossils to the front when they shouldn't be out there at all.
What's your plan to turn the campaign around?
You saw it today. How many people do you draw crowds like I drew today? You find me any more enthusiastic than today? Huh?
I mean, I don't think you want to play the crowd game. Donald Trump can draw big crowds. There's no question about that.
He can draw a big crowd, but what does he say? Who does he have? I'm the guy supposedly in trouble.
What's your plan to turn the campaign?
Yeah, I mean, that's Joe, creepy sleepy. All right.
But part of the other concern is that it seems to fit into a pattern of decline that has been reported on recently. New York Times had a headline on July 2nd, Biden's lapses are said to be increasingly common and worrisome. Here's what they wrote. People who have spent time with President Biden over the last few months or so said the lapses appear to have grown more frequent, more pronounced, and after Thursday's debate, more worrisome. By many accounts, as evidenced by video footage, observation, and interviews, Mr. Biden is not the same today as he was even when he took office 3.5 years ago. Similar reporting in the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal. Are you the same man today that you were when you took office 3.5 years ago?
In terms of successes, yes. I also was the guy who put together a peace plan for the Middle East that may become into fruition. I was also the guy that expanded NATO. I was also the guy that grew the economy. All the individual things that were done were ideas I had or I fulfilled. I moved on. And so, for example, well, that was true then. What's Biden done lately? Today, just announced 200,000 new jobs. We're moving in a direction that no one's ever taken on. I know you know this from the days in the government. I took on Big Pharma. I beat them. No one said I could beat them. I took on all the things we said we got done.
Let's pause for a second. How did you beat Big Pharma? Big Pharma, that's the biggest scourge to our country aside from the migration. All the drugs in the country come from Big Pharma. Oh, there's street drugs, ABL. Well, where did fentanyl come from? Where did Oxycontin, Xanax, Lortabs, where all that stuff come from? Big Pharma. All they doing is selling the Big Pharma stuff in the streets outside of the prescription and for cheaper. That's it. It's all Big Pharma stuff flooding the streets right now. 100,000 dead in 1 year from opioids, and that all came from Big Pharma.
We're told we couldn't get done. And part of it is what I said when I ran was I wanted to do three things. Restore some decency to the office. Restoring
decency. Now, listen, sir, there was at least two things I can think of that happened in the office or on the White House grounds or nearby that don't really denote decency. And these things did not happen under the previous administration. First of all, there was cocaine found in the White House. Don't nobody know who did it. You're in one of the most secure places in the world, the White House. Very secure. Listen, I've been inside the White House 3 times, okay? And look, the freeze frame, it is what it is. That's Joe Biden. There's not going to be a good freeze frame, okay? Let me just try to find a better freeze frame. Okay, he has his eyes closed right here, and then the other one he's slobbing, and the other one he's squinting. Anyway, I digress. The point is, they know who the cocaine came from. They know that. I'm not buying it that they didn't know. When I went to the White House to visit, I had to do a background check. Oh, yeah, background check. What's your social security number, sir? You got to check your background before you come in this White House. For people just to go into the White House and the cocaine falls on the ground and nobody knows who it was, I'm calling BS. First. Second, there was the dude that was with another guy in the Senate room, and they were doing something inappropriate. And I know we got little kids watching, so I won't say anything more than that. And not only did they do something inappropriate, they filmed it and put it on social media on their paid page, if you catch my drift. Decency? Sir. Really? Decency? Is that what we're going to say? Oh, okay. Oh, and I almost forgot. They had a pride festival or something like that on the South Lawn, and then you had this transformer reveal his chest, his breasts. Hey, look at this. I'm on the White House lawn. Right in front of everybody. Secret Service, Vice President, everybody. Decency? Okay.
Support for the middle class instead of trickle-down economics, built from the middle out and the bottom up. The way the wealthy still do fine, everyone does better. And unite the country.
So, yeah, that's what your man Joe Biden said. That's what Joe Biden said during the actual situation. All right? That's during the interview. But there's a little bit more, but not really. And if you like what you heard, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, I got one more here. This is about the whole thing about Sharper's attack. Okay. There's 6 minutes of people saying that he's Sharper's attack. Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to play somebody talking about it just for a few seconds, okay? And RIP to the headphone users in advance. Sorry for the loud noise. But yeah, if you hear anybody say that Biden and Sharper's attack, know that it's most likely 99.99% came from some think tank or some memo that says, hey, when asked about Joe Biden's vim and vigor, say this.
You guys see this clip, by the way? 6 minutes of 100 spokespeople and proxies. And they all had the same thing to say about President Biden, which is he is sharp as a tack.
Sharp as a tack?
Which end of the tack? The round part?
This is a man who is sharp.
This is a very...
He's sharp as a tack? Look at his face. So when they say stuff like that, that's gaslighting. When they telling you something that you know is not true, but they will swear to the grave. Nah, it's true. I know he looks like he's about to just completely just pass on to the upper room. I know that's how he looks. But look, don't worry about that. Don't worry about your own lying eyes telling you a story. Believe what I say. He's sharp as a tack.
Sharp president.
And the people that I've talked to say he's as sharp as a tack. He's fine.
They say he's sharp. He was sharp. He's sharp as a tack. If I asked 100 people on the street, what do you think of Elon Musk? You'd have 100 different statements. There'd be a general theme, but you would not have even 50 people repeat the exact same words.
Yes.
And so you have this funny situation where...
Now, that's what he's saying. I'm going to play a little bit of that video, actually. I'll play a little bit. I got a little bit of time before we get to the calls. Just a little bit. I ain't going to play the whole thing. This video right here, 6 minutes, 23 seconds of him saying, of people in the media saying Sharper's attack. But again, I'm not playing the entire thing for time's sake.
Version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Now look, a code does not make you do this. That's not what a code does.
Example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America.
This is a man who is sharp, who is on top of his game, who knows what's going on.
He's smart. He's on his game. His mental acuity is great.
This is a very sharp president.
And the people that I've talked to say he's as sharp as a tack. He's fine.
They say he's sharp.
There's not a problem.
He was sharp.
He was sharper than anyone I've spoken to.
The president is sharp and he is tireless. He is sharp.
As sharp as ever.
And he's fine. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental
Propaganda? Look at his face.
acuity has declined is wrong.
His brain is good. He's still great.
He is sharp in meetings.
I believe the people who say that behind closed doors, Joe Biden remains sharp.
In meetings, Joe Biden is sharp.
He's sharp. He's fit.
There is nothing to these challenges, these suggestions that somehow he's not sharp.
You get the idea. This goes on for another 5 minutes, 23 seconds. The same thing, different people talking about the same type of issue of him being sharp. Oh, behind the scenes, when you guys don't see him, when you guys can't be, he turns into the sharpest guy in the world. A 35-year-old Joe Biden, who was not necessarily as sharp as a tack. He might have been more eloquent in his speech and not having dementia, but he sounds better behind closed doors and you guys can't see. I was like, man, come on, like, cut the nonsense. Like, don't do that to me. Okay, we got calls to get to in a second. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let me get to the supers here. Thank you to Jonathan Recco, who says, I read that one earlier, but I'll read it again. He says, what are some areas in and around ATL that are safe? Now, as I was saying earlier, go north of 285 or in the northern area of Atlanta if you want to live. I suggest living outside of Atlanta in the northern suburbs. Dunwoody is okay. Sandy Springs, of course. Alpharetta, go over to Beaufort, places like that is great up there. If you live in the South, it could be a little weird, but they're going to try to gentrify College Park and East Point eventually, but not right now. And you can go anywhere in Atlanta in the daytime as long as it's touristy. You understand? Like, don't go to somebody's neighborhood in the hood at all for any reason. You know, you got some tourists that want to go to Cleveland Avenue where Young Thug is from. It's like, don't do that. Like, don't go off the beaten path. You can go to nature walks. You can go to the botanical garden. You can go to the zoo. You can go to Putt Shack, Painted Pen, places like that. Downtown, Coca-Cola, the aquarium. Go stick to places like that. Restaurants, that's fine. Downtown, Midtown, Buckhead, you good money. But if you're going off in people's neighborhoods, Bankhead, you're doing way too much. Not Buckhead, Bankhead. Bankhead, that's like past Mercedes-Benz Stadium to the west. Bankhead, Buckhead is its own neighborhood with Brookhaven and Chamblee, all that kind of stuff in there. And Buckhead might wind up being its own city because of all the stuff with Atlanta police, but that's a different story. Again, daytime, you get to go anywhere. Nighttime, be careful. If you go into bars and clubs in the city, it's weird at night. That's why I stay to the north and I don't be out late at night. I'll tell you what. Believe Lynn, that's right, Mike. Listen, I don't do nightlife at all. I do no nightlife. I'm not out at night. I'm not out 12 o'clock at night. I don't do that, man. I'm in the house at night. If it's past 10, 11 o'clock, I'm straight. But hey, if you want to be a nightlife person, you want to be at the bar 2 or 3 in the morning, stick to Buckhead. You be all right. But it could go a little bit weird depending upon where you are. But Buckhead, you'll be fine for the most part. All right. Now, and if you go to Midtown at night, you will see the LGBT. Okay. I went to Juniper Street one time at night, and they right there. I was with some people. Shout out to you guys. They were not from here. And then the one person was like, hey, let's go over there to that club. I was like, no. You don't see the line? All you see is males So let's just put two and two together. We're in Atlanta, and it's a club with nothing but males outside. Let's not do that. Anyway, shout out to Michael Guest, who says, I wonder if they had to change Joe's diaper after that interview he gave Trump 2024. Right on. Thank you to John Santabria, who says, so ABL, I can't afford much. The old lady took it all in a divorce. Hey, man, it's all good. Thank you for what you have. I appreciate you. Thank you to 6man_, who says, ABL, I love the show. I'm looking to move from New York State to Tennessee. What do you recommend? Knoxville or Chattanooga? Where are the safe areas to live at in Chattanooga? That's all you do. Okay. Shout out to you, man. And great question. Knoxville is okay. I'm not really mad at Knoxville. It's not really for me because it's not close enough to Atlanta. Now, Nashville is closer to Knoxville, so you can go straight across. What's that? I-40 or whatever that is right there. You could pass the Buc-ee's and Crossville. That's an okay place to be. Knoxville is cool. I prefer Chattanooga personally, but that's just me. It depends upon who you talk to. But Knoxville is perfectly fine. You have Gatlinburg right there. That's where Dolly Parton is from. You have the amusement park up there. Very nice. And also some of the cabins up in the Smoky Mountains. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Knoxville is a good pick. Really anywhere in Tennessee, aside from the inner city area in Memphis, is fine. Now, if you come into Chattanooga, do not go to East Chat at all for any reason whatsoever. Alton Park or Brainerd. East Brainerd is not Brainerd. East Brainerd is okay. East Brainerd is like a transitional thing. Once you get to Hamilton Place, the mall, it's okay. In East Brainerd, not Brainerd. Now, once you keep going further east to Ottawa and Appleton and Collegedale, you're in heaven. That's like my neck of the woods. I ain't gonna say exactly where I live, but I'm east. And if you don't mind a drive and you want to live more country, go to like Soddy Daisy, somewhere like that. You'd be good. Or even like South Pittsburgh, but that's probably a bad place because you kind of pass the interstate. I would say go up north like Hickson, Soddy Daisy, up there if you don't mind a drive. So that's pretty much it. Now, if you're living in, you can live downtown Chattanooga, but it could get weird. There is some homelessness and some drugs, but not that much. It's nowhere near California at all. You're not going to see tents on the side of the road. I've not seen that at all here. Anyway, so that's pretty much what you can do. Shout out to Michael Guest, who says, Kamala the Jackal with the cackle. No thanks. Thank you to Laura Catherine for your donation with the cup of Joe. I appreciate that. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, despite the common belief English is not the official language of the United States, how do you feel about that? And do you think it matters? It doesn't really matter because what do we speak here is English. Like, I don't know. It doesn't have to be official to be the language that we all use. Everything is English. Everything, all the signs, everything. People that don't speak English are not from here. You see what I'm saying? So it's the official, unofficial language. Thank you to Kelly, who says, from a 2 SUV owner in Vancouver. Shout out to you. Shout out to the SUVs up there in Vancouver. And thank you, Slender Brother Charming, for your donation with the dancing emoji. I appreciate you for that. All right. I'm reading some of the comments here. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Yeah, Chattanooga is great. Tennessee is great. I'm glad I live here. I'm glad I don't live in California or New York or Illinois or anywhere like that. I couldn't do it. I would never. Yeah. West Coast, left coast. I like Phoenix when I was there. Phoenix is cool to visit, but it's way too hot during the summer. And it's like California. That's the issue. Shout out to Silent Owl Scribe, who says, here in Hampton, Virginia, saw some human doo-doo on the sidewalk at a shopping mall. Yeah, I mean, it could be like that depending upon where you are. Yeah, it most certainly can be like that. Jerry says, grew up in Chattanooga, loved it here. It's a great place to be. It's definitely a great place to be. Very welcoming. Ain't no race stuff going on. It's good. Hold on. Heinz Ketchup says Tennessee is overcrowded. It's like Atlanta. May as well move to Atlanta. Well, that's not necessarily true. It depends on where you live in Tennessee. You talking about Nashville? Yeah, Nashville does have traffic, but Nashville is Nashville. Okay, it's its own little thing over there in Middle Tennessee. Where I live is not crowded at all. It's barely any traffic. It's cool. It's cool. But again, it all depends on what particular part of the area you live in. All right, let me get my sound together. All right. Who am I speaking to? 267 on the line.
Yes, sir, Mr. JBL.
All right, man. What's going on?
I didn't hear you mention Bristol, Tennessee there. Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia is pretty awesome, too.
Oh, yeah. I've been through there before. Like, I've been through there on the way to Roanoke, going up 81. So, shout out to Bristol.
Yeah, got you. Let me ask you a question on what Joe Biden was talking about when he was asking, and he was at the White House in front of, during the daytime when you just showed it on your show, when he said about the congestive areas, like especially through Atlanta. If anybody else wasn't the president, how much congestion is there in that area you got to get through there?
Right, exactly. Like, I don't know about the normal traffic, but I would presume if you were president, they're going to shut the interstate down.
Exactly, they're going to shut it off, and he can go through there freely. So if it was just me and you riding through there, we're going to be at least an hour and a half getting through all the way through Atlanta, coming down I-75.
That's right, absolutely. I didn't even think about that. That's 100% correct.
All right, you have a great one, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's always a thing. I follow some Atlanta pages and also like Tennessee pages on social media, and they give updates about what's happening locally. And then whenever Kamala Harris comes to Atlanta, which is very often, they always announce it, and everybody's always like, man, go home. You're going to make the traffic terrible. I can't get to the airport. This is going to be a mess. They hate it. 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. I just wanted to say, people think, things where Biden can be getting more disastrous. Well, they're proving me wrong every day. But, I got to say, well, one thing is some of the things Biden has said is like, wow, what miraculous. Well, during Stephanopoulos' debate, did you hear he said he shut down Putin?
I did hear that.
Yeah, he said he shut down Putin. And why do we have to keep sending money to Ukraine?
Hey, you know what? That to me, it doesn't make any sense, because if Putin got shut down, that means the war is over. But obviously, the war is not over.
Yeah, exactly. Shut down Putin. And I like what he said at the 4th of July, where he said there's no more road congestion. I said, well, there's his 2024 campaign speech. I eliminated all traffic jams from America from now on. So there's something for him to run on. And, just in general, these people repeating the same thing with that 6-minute video. There's a 4-letter word. I know you don't like 4-letter words, but I think this one's safe that we can use to describe this bunch. And that 4-letter word is cult.
Yeah, that is very, very fitting for these people.
I mean, it's a thing. Repeat the same thing. You don't question. You don't challenge. Even what your own eyes see and your own ears hear, that is irrelevant. You basically accept what they say without question. No question allowed.
That's right.
Well, it's a lot I was going to talk about tonight, but you pretty much shared everything. You did a great job. Awesome. I hope you had a good Independence Day, by the way.
Oh, I did. Absolutely. Great day.
Yeah, well, that's good. And, well, yeah, just one more thing about the Independence Day. Biden, when he tried that run into the White House side door.
Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to run the 110 flat, and maybe that's why he told Stephanopoulos he couldn't do it anymore.
Maybe so.
Yeah, and this is the very last thing. I mean, he's got this orange spray tan trying to imitate Trump and all. This adds one more big difference between Trump and Biden. That when it comes to the orange spray tan, Trump is the one that makes it look good.
That's right. Absolutely. The orange does not look good on Biden, but Trump Where's it will?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I know it's going to be 10 million and one caller, so I'll just let you go and have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. Bye.
All right. So shout out to the Orange Man. Orange Man bad. Yeah. Biden could never do the orange like Trump. 215 hit online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how's it going, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hold on, let me get you off. There, I got you off speaker mode. Hey, so ABL, I wanted to ask you this question.
All right.
When's the last time you heard from BLM, Black Lives Matter?
It's been a while. I think the last time I heard from them was the last election.
Wow. Because I was still keeping up with the stories when they got exposed for the mansions, for them having the mansions. And then after that, I've been hearing a little stuff here and there. And it just like, I haven't heard nothing from them from like, it's going on 2 years now. Pretty much like a year and a half. And they said they were going to come back. I like how they said they were going to come back in 2024. And nobody hasn't heard from them or seen them. Tamika Mallory, none of them.
Well, and no money. You know, they didn't open the budget up this year. So they just pretty much on the sideline. Whenever the Democrats say, hey, you're activated, here's a budget, however many millions of dollars, then they get right back to it. But until then, they're pretty much on the sideline chilling in their real estate portfolio.
Yeah, it makes sense because I've heard the budget dried up, the money dried up, so there was really no point. And they already got Joe Biden in office, so they felt as though the work stopped. And then, you know, Derek Chauvin got convicted. And them hearing about saying they were going to come back in 2024, and nobody's heard from them since. Last time I heard was December of 2021. And that was it. They did their little podcast, and they just went into silence. That's it. And, you know, it's funny, a lot of police shootings that's been happening. They probably came out one time in Philadelphia, but that was like a small incident of a police shooting. There was a looting, but you didn't see them at all.
Yeah, you know, the police shootings, they always get overblown by the media. I mean, there's always a police shooting. But, you know, it just takes one to get overblown. All of a sudden now it becomes a political thing. And the reason why it's overblown is because they want to make it be political. They want to use it as a weapon. But since ain't no budget right now, ain't no point in trying to blow anything up to make it be something because ain't nobody going to be there to really protest the way that Black Lives Matter, the paid people were protesting.
Yeah, like you said, paid activists. They were getting sent into communities to just pretty much cause a disturbance and destroy stuff. But sorry about it. And another thing I wanted to say, ABL, honestly, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, not all, I'm not gonna categorize all the older generation, but after the 2020 election, I lost a lot of respect for a lot of the older generation because I don't know how they couldn't see that Joe Biden was just like the way he is now. And it's pretty much, I feel like it was just delusion. They didn't want to see it. It's the Trump derangement syndrome, like you said, TDS. And they were just so focused on, they were under the impression anything's better than Trump.
Right, absolutely.
And you would think that people who own houses, who should know about property taxes and all that kind of stuff, you would think they would know a little bit better to not vote for somebody who said they're going to raise taxes. But no, he said he's going to raise taxes on the rich, not the middle class. But, you know, I can't expect much from older people because seeing how I've only been in politics for 4 years and I know that there's no such thing as tax the rich. It's tax everybody because the government's going to collect this money either way. And the rich have legal ways to avoid paying taxes. They understand how money operates. That's why most of them are rich and wealthy.
Right on.
And I'm gonna say this last thing. Yeah, the average normie taxing the rich, they're gonna tax everybody. And then what are they gonna do with the money? They just keep funding all these pointless conflicts that don't have anything to do with America that we just need to stay out of. Yeah. So basically, I looked to all different sources and I don't like watching like information that's like politically biased, like right leaning or left leaning. I try to find unbiased news and information.
That's all you got to do, man. Like people, there's so much spin left, right, or whatever. You got to just find the actual information. So that's why I say, hey, when I do my videos, go to my website. I got sources from everywhere, left, right, independent, whatever. So you can find your own information out rather than relying upon somebody to tell you. Do your own research behind it to really get truly informed so you have the ultimate correct information.
Gotcha. I'm gonna check out your website because I always watch your videos. I'm gonna check out your website too.
Right on, man. Absolutely.
Thank you, ABL. Have a good night.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
You too. Yeah, fuck that. No.
All right, shout out to the caller. Let's keep on going here. 250, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL. This is Old Joe. How are things this evening?
Everything's well. How about yourself?
Oh, it's hot up here, even though I'm up here in Canada. Hey, I just wanted to say a few quick words, and then I'll jump down. So I don't know how much you've talked about the debate. I've missed a couple of shows. But what is blatantly obvious now is there's a large percentage of the Democratic Party, the Democratic establishment, that has been openly lying to you, the American people, for quite a while. Biden's performance was not a bad night, and I think the interview he gave afterwards was equally as bad. I think he was incoherent, and I had a hard time understanding him. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he sounded terrible. He looks terrible, and he's been getting worse. It was bad during the election in 2020, and it's been getting progressively worse. The media will try to say that he's fine. He's sharp as a tack, as I was playing earlier, but obviously he's not. And the people at a certain point can't get fooled because you can say that he's okay and he's fine when he's not exposed so much. But then when you have the debate and it's 90 minutes of the same thing and he's not getting better, you can't really spin that. So now it's becoming indefensible.
Yes, agreed. We had a prime minister up here at one time called Brian Mulroney. He was very popular at one time, but he was caught with brown envelopes full of cash in his safe in his personal office. And what happened to him up here is that the party that he led, the Conservatives, were wiped out. And you guys honestly need to wipe out the Democrats for doing this to you. Anybody that votes Democrat now is only doing so because they are either ideologically captured or can see no other option. I was talking with a guy the other day who said, I'm voting for Biden because it doesn't really matter who the president is. All the power is behind the scenes anyways. And I wonder what a fellow like that thinks he votes for then, if he's not actually voting for president. I don't know if you've been told something similar by these people who are making excuses, or.
Well, it's all kind of excuses just floating around. They say so much, and a lot of times they find a particular talking point and they just hop on it as a collective.
Yeah, I agree. So the last thing I'll say before I jump off is I think that you can expect to see something happen very shortly here. First of all, I'm going on record as saying they can't run this man. He can't function. He can't, even in a prepared interview, he can't handle an interview where he was prepped with the questions. They're going to have to do something. The second thing you're going to see, in my opinion, is you're going to see an upping of the attack on Trump. And who knows what will come out next. Trump was selling drugs on a street corner, whatever. It'll be whatever it takes. It also appears as though Kennedy might be biting into Biden's or the Democratic share of the vote a little. And I see that there's more attacks coming on him now recently. So I'm just here from north of the border to encourage you guys to finish these people off because, in a political sense, because there's a lot of talk that some scandal might arise and all of a sudden we'll wind up with Kamala Harris in the White House. So that would be a disaster. Thank you very much, ABL. I'm enjoying the show this evening.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah, definitely. And people say, the funniest thing about Kamala Harris becoming the president and people not wanting that, they say, oh, if you don't want Kamala Harris as the president, then you're racist. This is ridiculous. Kamala Harris is polling at 0%. in the 2020 election when she ran for president. She was polling worse than Joe Biden. So what about the black folks that did not vote for Kamala and voted for Joe in the primary? Are they racist? Are the Democrat Party who vote overwhelmingly for it's a black community who vote overwhelmingly for Democrats every single time? Are they racist for not wanting Kamala? So if they didn't want Kamala, why would anybody else want Kamala? It don't make no sense. 908, you're not allowed who I'm speaking to.
Yeah, come on. Check. How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I'm pretty good, man. I just wanted to touch a little bit on and get your feelings on. I watched the debate the other day. Not the debate. We already know the debate was a disaster, but I watched the interview, which was actually a waste of time. It really was a waste of time. You're talking about 20 minutes at least of an interview where he deflected off of pretty much every direct question. And shout out to George Stephanopoulos, because he really did ask him some really good questions that I think most of the American people wanted to really know and hear him respond honestly. But what I found very interesting when I was listening to it is that he never did give a yes or no answer to anything that he was really asked in regards to. He just kept deflecting and going on his past accomplishments. And I kept scratching my head. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? How does he keep referring to past accomplishments when he's only been there, 3 years, some change, of which we've seen the economy go up. We've seen the gas prices go up. We've seen housing prices go up. We've seen everything go up. You can't even buy basic necessities from the supermarket for your family without paying 30-40% higher than what it was, and if not even higher in some places. So I'm trying to. It's really mind-boggling. It blows my mind that these people who represent the Democratic Party just can't simply see what everybody else in the American public sees and hears. They continue to gaslight as if that's the solution. It's really sad. It's really, really sad where we find ourselves at right now in this country.
I agree 100%. It's really a shame. But I think at this point, Democrats don't have anything else. They know that they don't have anybody that the people want. All they have is a legacy of Barack Obama, and they're trying to hang on to that for dear life. And they know once that's gone, they don't have any. Like during the 2020 election, that was their attempt to make the next person be it. But they could not escape Barack Obama. They tried to do the whole LGBT thing with Pete Buttigieg, but that ain't going to work because we're not ready for no gay president. Okay.
That's right. That's not going to work.
That's not going to work. They tried to push forward Cory Booker and Kamala because they thought Cory Booker looked like Barack Obama, but he's not Barack Obama. Barack Obama was a smooth talker. He was really just somebody that people liked, had charisma, kind of like Bill Clinton. But Cory Booker's kind of corny. Wasn't even married, had no kids. They had to assign him a girlfriend. That didn't work. And then they Kamala Harris. She was kind of weird. So they don't have anybody. So all they could do is say, okay, well, Joe from Barack Obama. Yes, he's 1,000 years old, but vote for him. And now that's not working because he's about to pretty much be gone in any moment now. So they don't have anything.
That's true. I was talking to my wife earlier today. I said, you know what? I said, what's really, really extra sad is that they're putting their feelings and their mindset on full display as far as how they feel about the American people. They really don't care about the country. It's like you either are insane, completely out of your mind, or you hate the country you live in. Because I can't wrap my head around why would you see the country spiraling out of control, borders completely wide open, and you still deflect and still keep coming up with these gaslighting tactics and lies when you see the country going completely out of control. I'm like, what is with these people? I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. It's amazing. It just makes you scratch your head for real.
Yeah, it really does.
We better all be praying. Yeah, we better all be praying. I know I am. We better be praying that Trump gets into office in November, and not just gets elected in November, but that he makes it all the way until his inauguration. Because I intend to be there. God keeps breath in my body. I will be at that inauguration, and I'll be at a rally coming up more soon. Recently, on the 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. For the listeners, your listeners that are hearing, if they can get themselves there, it's in Butler, Pennsylvania. If you're close, it's going to be a Trump rally. So. Yeah, man. So I love what you're doing, man. I appreciate what you're doing. I got a whole lot of respect for what you're doing, man. Shout out to all the patriots out there that want to see this country great and taken first again. And shout out to you, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you.
You got it, man. Have a great night.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great caller. And if you guys are out there near Butler, Pennsylvania, go ahead and go to that rally. And I've not been to a Trump rally in a little while, but I've been to quite a few, and they're always amazing. The best people in the world you're going to find at a Trump rally. 409, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, ABL. How you doing tonight?
It's all good. What's happening?
Yes, I was calling today. Ever since the debate, there's one thing that's really been bothering me. And, everyone wants to talk about Donald Trump's 26, 27 lies, whatever, make up a number. Democrats will say, yeah, regardless. But everyone wants to talk about all his lies. But the biggest lie that happened that night was Joe Biden saying that he hasn't lost a single troop in war during his presidency.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And, man, I'm a United States Marine. I served in Afghanistan, and I about fell out my chair, brother. I'm shaking just talking about it right now. But what I want to suggest is Donald Trump missed a prime opportunity right there. I think Donald Trump could have eaten him alive on national television and probably delivered a knockout blow right then and there. But a way to remedy this, my solution is a charity golf event. So everyone wants to talk about the golf banter between the two and, oh, I'll play you, but you got to carry your clubs. Look, Joe Biden, he already put it out on the table. He said, I'd be happy to play a round of golf with you. You just have to carry your bag. So I think Trump should call him on it. And I think what should happen is during this charity golf event, you can make it like a telethon. People call in, donate $5 here, $10 there. At the end of that golf match, what happens? All that money gets divided up 13 ways and goes to the families of the 13 service members who lost their lives during that disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. I think Donald Trump would be a fool to not put that challenge out there because it does a few things. Obviously, we get to see how frail Joe Biden actually is trying to swing a golf club, which I don't really watch golf. I don't know if you do, but I would call in sick to watch that golf match. That would be bigger than any golf event that's ever taken place, bigger than Tiger Woods, Happy Gilmore, you name it. People would tune in and watch that. But also, it gives the opportunity for Joe Biden, who loves to talk about his son Beau and how he died in Iraq, but not really, wink, wink, and how much he loves the troops. Well, this is an opportunity for him to not only show how much he loves the troops and that he can beat Donald Trump in a round of golf, but that he actually does care about the troops and that he, is a man of his word when he stood on that debate stage and said that he would take him on anytime, any day. Anyways, that's my idea. If you like it, I hope that you can use your platform to put that challenge out there. Maybe Donald Trump will see it. I tried calling his office. He's busy. But I appreciate you taking my call, brother. I appreciate your audience for taking the time for hearing me out. And God bless. I hope y'all have a great night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Great calls tonight. Shout out to all the callers. Calling line speaker to 617.
Hey, ABL. It's Jenna from West Virginia.
All righty. What's going on?
So I claim West Virginia now, but I'm originally from New Hampshire, so I had to chime in on the parade in New Hampshire. So here's the wild part of that. It was actually the Biden-Harris for New Hampshire. I don't know if it's actually paid directly by the Biden-Harris campaign or if it's the New Hampshire GOP, but those people were paid to do that parade.
Wow.
Which makes it even better because there was, 13 of them?
Yeah, really. It was talking about like a little neighborhood. Like we had like a little neighborhood party here in my subdivision. It was more of us there than that little parade.
Yeah. So if you can't even get, let's say 100 people, even at that, paying them to get to parade for them, it's just sad. It's not good. But I just wanted to add that context in there because I found that quite comical.
That is hilarious. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's crazy. That little parade they had. Hold on, let's see if I can pull that back up. I might not be able to find it. Hold on. Yeah, I might not be able to find it right now. But that little parade they had that I showed in New Hampshire, They got paid for that. It's like, really? For real, for real? I mean, that's crazy. That's totally nuts. All right, hold on. Oh, here it is right here. I found it. Look at this. All right. So this is a parade that they were paid for. So that's why my man right here was there. Hey, I'm just trying to get paid. I got my sunglasses on. You can't see me. I got a towel on my head. I'm just trying to get paid. Okay, I understand. I get it. But they're all there for the same reason. I'm getting paid. Yeah, very organic. We have logos, banners, and whatnot from the administration. We get all of that stuff. Very organic, though. We're just walking down the street, having a good old time. It's not a paid event. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's totally nuts. Totally nuts. Let's keep on going here. 850, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hello. This is Christopher.
All righty.
And yeah, I just want to go ahead and just, address all their families that have served and the ones that are serving, and my best and prayers. And I just wanted to say this has been an awesome show, and I like everything that you're doing on the platform, and I hope you continue the good work, and good luck. And all the callers have been awesome. Have a great day.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right. Great call. Short and sweet, straight to the point. I appreciate y'all for being here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Calling speaking to 470.
Whether you love me or hate me, you got to vote for me.
ABL, hey, it's Greg from Wild and Wacky Land. How you doing, sir?
It's all good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. You mentioned a couple things about Atlanta. You said East Point, actually south of Atlanta. Those people don't realize College Park is not Atlanta. It's just south. It's not a good area.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I know. Like, I think what they're trying to do is change that area. So now, no, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, I mean, there's some parts that are okay, but I'm moved out of there with my family in, I think it was like late August of 1975. I just turned 6 years old. The neighborhood was just starting to go downhill then.
Okay.
And that was almost 50 years ago.
Right.
And East Point's right next door, and I just checked into their crime statistics maybe a week or two ago. They're actually even worse than College Park. College Park is very high for Georgia, extremely high.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's, not a good area. It used to be really good back in the 70s. It used to be a place where the Delta pilots and Delta crews, the staff used to live back in the 70s, I think up until like the early 80s, but then they moved out.
Right.
Because it was like 15 minutes away from just south of the Atlanta airport, so it's so close. That's why they lived there. And it's so sad because it was a nice neighborhood. I remember as a child, and I loved it. I lived there. I remember at least 2 years living there from like age 3 to 6, But anyway, yeah, as far as downtown's concerned, Midtown's cool during the day and everything, but downtown, you have a lot of homeless people and crack addicts walking across the street in broad daylight right in front of cars. They don't care. They act like they rule the road, The rules of the road don't apply to them. Mario's cool. It's gone downhill. It's really not what it was back in the 80s and early 90s, but it's okay, for the most part. I noticed on Paris Ferry and Woody Hill, in the shopping center right there, where Schlotsky's is. I don't know if you know where that is. You probably go through there.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, about 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago, they opened up 13 little parking spots for EV charging stations.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just there yesterday, and I saw a guy was like charging up his car, thinking, I wonder how many hours it's going to take him to charge his car up while I'm driving off in my new gas-powered Honda Accord.
That's right.
I think, what fools. And those guys tend to be arrogant assholes anyway, these little Tesla drivers. Because the radical leftists driving those cars, I think they're saving the environment because we're not using any gas. But it costs like, what, $22,000 or so to replace the battery.
Yeah, some of them, some of those guys are kind of weird. Like, I was on the road in my Mustang, and the Tesla guy tried to race me. It's like, sir, let's not, man. Let's not do this. Just Go to your charger and charge up and leave me alone in my Mustang.
Yeah, and furthermore, they have to mine for all that cobalt and manganese and all the minerals that go into making that battery from communist China. So that's great. So we're funding a communist country that hates America to build these batteries and that the cars, these EV cars use. It just makes no sense. Why do we want to support communist China?
Makes no sense to me.
Help save the environment. We're not helping saving the environment. It's just a bunch of BS. So anyway, there's one thing I want to share with you. There's a video you have to check out for your viewers. It's called Fireworks and Driveway Explosion, 4th of July. It's 31 seconds long. You have to check this out.
All right,
I want you to play it right now.
I can't really find it at this moment, but I'll see if I can find it at a certain point.
Okay, if you do, in one of your videos, play it, because it's hilarious. It's like a war zone.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all I want to say. 122 days until we win. Soul Ultra Mega, America First, Trump 2024. Thanks a lot. Take care, man. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
See you. Bye.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. 630, you don't line. Who am I speaking to?
How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, man. I just wanted to make a comment about the Democrats, how selfish they've been about Joe Biden hiding the fact that he's had dementia since like 2020 or before.
Yeah.
Am I live right now?
You're live.
Oh, sorry, man. Oh, so basically what I wanted to say was that the Democrats have known this for a while, right? So now the game's out. So the only reason why they really care about this now is because it may ruin the House and Senate chances, right? So my opinion is that they're so selfish that they do not care about Americans. Either does Jill. His wife is just carting them out there. I mean, it's just very pathetic. And if you vote Democratic, I can't believe that you would at this very moment in time.
Yeah, really.
That's all I wanted to say.
Right on, man. Thank you for your call.
Thanks, man.
All right, shout out to the caller. 773 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, can you tell Chicago Police Officer Fred? Thanks for taking my call. ABL, first of all, I think the reason you don't see Black Lives Matter, in the media much, is that they're busy defending themselves against their previous crimes. So they are in trouble. They're being looked at. They have committed all kinds of financial and this kind of crime, and that's what they're busy doing. They know they're in trouble, so they're not in the media right now. They probably got lawyers and trying to go through all the stuff to figure out how to stay out of jail. And then, as far as the Chicago taxes, actually it's Cook County. That woman's suburbs, that suburb community is in Cook County, but not in Chicago. But Chicago is within Cook County, and obviously that dictates the taxes. But I have a small, modest house. I live, near the airport on the far northwest side. It's a community because city workers have to live in the city. It's the biggest community of city workers. There is another community on the south side, the southwest side of Chicago, that has city workers. And my taxes on my modest house is right around $12,000 a year.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's correct. So it's about $1,000 a month. Here it was like $800, and then what the city did is that they took, on your property tax, it used to include the garbage removal, it used to include the water and whatnot, and sewage, I should say, sewage. And what they did is they made you pay separately. So I pay my taxes twice a year, and then separately every month. It started off like to be they were saying, oh, $30 for sewage and garbage pickup, and also for the police and fire. And they put that as a separate bill. So every month another bill comes. It's now up to $111, $109, or maybe around $110 a month for that. So now they got you for another $1,200 a year. You know, so all that added up comes to about 12 grand for me. I think it's actually 11,000 something, whatever, but it's nearly $12,000 a year just for the taxes, not your mortgage, not just on property tax alone. It's a lot of money, ABL. It's nothing compared to New York or San Francisco, though. It really isn't. But it's still expensive for the Midwest, which is why, your wages have to be at a certain part to keep up with the inflation and where you live. And that's also why most people, once they don't have to be in the city, they flee the city. So, I haven't fled yet because I have, my mother's still alive here and, family. But most policemen, even within my family, have moved out of the city limits and out of Cook County limits, let alone other states. But even if they stayed in Illinois, they moved out of Cook County because, the prices are so high here. But that also affects the taxes of nearby communities, nearby ones. Even if they're a little lower, they're still way up there. So it's almost not worth living in a big city like this. And, but where am I going to go? My whole life is here. You could go somewhere else, but then you're, acclimating yourself to places that aren't around you. Just like when you speak, ABL, you speak very proudly of all these places you've been. You know the roads. You can pretty much your ABL GPS. So, well, that's all I got to say, ABL. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
All right. That is a fantastic call as always. And that'll be a wrap for me tonight. Shout out to you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate y'all. I will be back live on Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is also an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And also, if you guys are not subscribed to the brand new channel, Uncle ABL, I will do so. Please do so right now. I'll link to that in the chat. Also, the link is always in the description. Let me spam it for me. There we go. So I spammed it in the chat. It's right there, as always, in the description as well. So subscribe to that. Get the audio only podcast, 8 a.m. tomorrow, if you want that for your travel or whatever the case may be. And what else? Also, thank you for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Shout out to the mods keeping the trolls in check. I really, really appreciate that. I got a few more super chats on here. I'll read those. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thank you to E. Clay Thomason for gifting 5 ABL memberships. I appreciate you for that one, boss. Thank you to Bob K. MIT, who says, shout out to Atomic and all your OGs. Shout out to Atomic Tabasco, who says, thanks, Bob K. MIT and all the ABL crew. And thank you to Peyton Walker, who says, make ABL rich. I don't got nothing negative to say about that. That is a very good way to wrap up the show. Thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate y'all. Again, subscribe to the brand new channel. Download the free audio podcast if you want that. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, and I'm here pretty much every day putting out pre-recorded content for you guys to consume. So that will be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and Peace.